Live on a Friday night at Utah Grizzlies Hockey, as it's the second of a three-game series between the Grizzlies and the Iowa Heartlanders. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. It's the second road game for the Grizzlies this season, as Utah is at Xtream Arena to face the Iowa Heartlanders. Utah's 3-1 all-time against Iowa. Utah, as we mentioned, second road game of the season. They are the last team to appear in a road game, and that came on Wednesday morning when Utah got goals from Kyle Mayhew and Dylan Fitz, but Iowa got 1 goal and 1 assist from Liam Coughlin, including the game winner, 5:27 into the third period. Odin Tufto had 2 power play assists, and Iowa goaltender Peyton Jones saved 20 of 22 as the Heartlanders defeated the Grizzlies 3-2. So Utah looking for a little bit of revenge here tonight. Watch out for Utah's power play. That's been outstanding as of late. They are 4 for 8 on the power play over the last 3 games. The Grizzlies' power play is tied for second in the league at 25%. So watch out for the special teams tonight. It played a big factor on Wednesday night, and who knows, could play a big factor here this evening in the middle game of this 3-game set. We'll talk about some of the Grizzlies players who have been on a roll as of late and some of the players for Iowa to watch out for when we return to the Grizzlies pregame report, as we're in business on a Friday night, and you're listening to the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. Some Grizz who have been outstanding as of late include Dylan Fitz, who's got 3 goals in his last 2 games. 2 of his 3 goals have come on the Grizzlies' power play. Brett Stapley has certainly made a strong first impression in a Grizzlies uniform. Stapley has 1 goal and 3 assists in his first 3 games with Utah. He spent last year with the Trois-Rivières Lions, where he scored just about a point a game. Brandon Cutler's got a point in 5 of his 9 games this season. And how about the Rooster? He's certainly been a clutch performer for Utah. Martell leads all Grizzlies forwards with a +2 rating. And he also leads Utah with 8 points this season, 3 goals and 5 assists. He had 1 assist on Wednesday in the 3-2 loss. Some other Grizz who have been pretty good have included Kyle Mayhew, who's got 3 goals this season. 2 of his 3 goals have been unassisted. And Mayhew's been a pretty good shooter, as he is 3 for 12 on shots this season. Tyler Penner will be in the Grizzlies lineup again tonight. It will be his 153rd consecutive regular season appearance. Watch out for defenseman Brian Yoon, who's got an assist in 3 of his last 4 games. And how about Mick Messner? He's got an assist in 2 of his last 3. And you talk about Stapley, that second line. He's out there with Nathan Burke, who's got 4 goals and 2 assists in 8 games. And I think my pick for the Optum first goal of the game is going to be Cole Gallant. Gallant, the first-year pro out of Western Michigan University, scored 2 goals in 7 games at the end of last season with the Trois-Rivières Lions. That was the start of his pro career. Gallant, in 8 games this season, has 1 goal and 2 assists. So watch out for Gallant. He'll be wearing number 25 for the Grizzlies. We obviously know the obvious storyline is Peyton Jones going up against his former team. On Wednesday morning, Jones stopped 20 of 22 and got a little bit of revenge against the Grizzlies. And we'll see if Trent Miner, who was Jones's teammate 2 years ago when the Grizzlies won the Mountain Division Championship, we'll see if Miner returns the favor with a solid performance. He stopped 22 of 25 on Wednesday. The backup is Dante Giannuzzi, and whenever Giannuzzi appears for the first time this season, he'll make his pro debut. Maybe that'll be tomorrow. Remains to be seen. But Dante Giannuzzi is the backup goaltender tonight. Scratches for both teams. There was one roster move that the Grizzlies made yesterday as defenseman Gianni Fairbrother was reassigned to the AHL's Colorado Eagles. So he's back in an Eagles uniform. Scratches for the Grizzlies tonight. Jacob Semick actually took Fairbrother's spot in the lineup. So out for Utah this evening is Michael Underwood, as well as Jordan Stone and Cade Jensen. That's the three defensemen who are out for Utah. Cody Cron out of the lineup. He's yet to make his Grizzlies debut, and I think everybody's looking forward to seeing what he's able to do in a Utah uniform. But it looks like Cron is out once again, and Garrett Metcalf is also out for Utah. There was a couple moves that Iowa made. They actually made a trade where Nolan Orzek, their defenseman, got traded to the Allen Americans. And it looks like Iowa also acquired forward Adam Goodsir from the Worcester Railers in a trade. So Goodsir will be wearing number 12, and he'll be making his Iowa Heartlanders debut tonight over at Xtream Arena. When we come back, we'll give you the starting lineups for both teams. It's the Grizzlies and the Heartlanders, a battle of 500 teams. Utah is 4-4 this season, while Iowa has a record of 4-4-2. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. Face off a few minutes from now. Unfortunately, the hardwire internet's not working for me, so we got to go Wi-Fi, so my screen might be a little bit spotty here this evening. Let's start with the visiting Utah Grizzlies, who are led by head coach Ryan Kanasowicz, who's in his third season as the Grizz head coach. Kanasowicz is the all-time leader in goals, assists, and points in Grizzlies history. The assistant is Christian Horn. Starting in net's going to be Trent Miner. This will be his sixth appearance this season. Miner's got a record of 2-3 with a 2.62 goals against average and 908 save percentage. Miner's the Grizzlies' all-time shutout king. He's got 10 in the Utah uniform and 11 professionally. He'll be wearing number 50. The backup is Dante Giannuzzi. Starting defensive pairing, Keone Teixeira, who has 1 goal and 2 assists in 8 games. Teixeira, 6 feet, 210 pounds, 6-year pro. He's a +2 this season. He'll be paired up with Brian Yoon, who's got 3 assists in 8 games. In fact, he has 3 assists in his last 4 contests. Yoon, along with Teixeira, is a +2. That's tied for the club lead with Grizzlies forward Jordan Martell. So watch out for Yoon, the Colorado College captain last year. He is 5'11" and 178 pounds. So Yoon and Teixeira is the starting defensive pairing. We'll also see the Grizzlies captain, Josh Wesley, in there for Utah, as well as Kyle Mayhew, who was the opt-in first goal of the game scorer on Wednesday. Corey Thomas, the big 6'5" defenseman, will be paired up with the Arizona State product, Jacob Semick. Semick making his third appearance this season. He'll be wearing number 17. So the starting defensive pairing is Yoon and Teixeira, but we will also see Wesley and Mayhew, as well as Thomas and Semick. 11 forwards for Utah tonight. There's no doubt that Tyler Penner is going to be in the Grizzlies lineup. He's been in there every game since he started the 2021-22 season. Penner wearing number 21. He'll be lined up next to Dylan Fitz, who's got 3 goals in his last 2 games. And Mick Messner, the Merrimack and Wisconsin product. He has 2 assists in 8 games. Messner wearing number 10. We also see the forward line of Cutler, Raby, and Martell, as those guys were outstanding in the second half of the Wichita series last week. We will also see Nathan Burke, who's got 4 goals and 2 assists this season. Brett Stapley's making his 4th appearance in a Utah uniform. Stapley, 1 goal and 3 assists so far this year. And Cole Gallant, the Western Michigan product, who's got 1 goal and 2 assists in 8 games. We'll also see Jared Power. Power, 1 goal in 7 games. He scored last Saturday against Wichita in the second period. And Dean Yakura, the 38-year-old forward, who's got 1 assist in 8 games. Watch out for Yakura, in particular when the Grizzlies are on the penalty kill. And now for the homestanding Iowa Heartlanders, who are led by head coach Derek Damon. The assistant coach is Joe Exter and Eric Michaud. Michaud, the director of hockey operations and the video coach. Iowa comes in with a record of 4-4-2 as both teams are at the 500 mark this season. Iowa's been particularly good at home. They are 4-1-1 at home, but on the road they're 0-3-1. Starting in net's a fourth-year pro out of Penn State, Peyton Jones, who's making his 8th appearance this season. Jones has a record of 4-2-1 with a 2.65 goals against average and .912 save percentage. Starting defensive pairing, Chris Leip, number 3. He is scoreless in 6 games. He is 6'1" and 194 pounds. He'll be paired up with Justin Wells, big 6'4", 201-pound defenseman. Wells has 1 assist in 6 games. I was really impressed with Ben Brinkman, the Notre Dame product. Brinkman will be in there wearing number 4. He is 6'1" and 220 pounds. He'll be paired up with the Iowa captain, Kevin McKernan, who has 3 assists in 10 games. We will also see Hunter Lelig paired up with Landon Kozier, and the 7th defenseman is Robbie Stucker, who's making his season debut for the Heartlanders. So Iowa rolling with 10 forwards and 7 D. As Adair is on the ice, Iowa's wearing a specialty jersey tonight. It's a green jersey with red, white, and blue numbers. Starting forward line for the Heartlanders, Davis Kosh, who had a power play goal in the second period on Wednesday. He's got 3 goals and 4 assists in 10 games. He'll be wearing number 17. He'll be lined up next to Yuki Miura, the native of Japan. He's got 1 goal and 3 assists in 10 games. And Louis Boudon, number 40, 1 goal and 5 assists in 6 games. Watch out for Liam Coughlin. He was the number 1 star on Wednesday morning with 1 goal and 1 assist, including the game winner. And Nick Campoli was one of Iowa's best forwards. He's got 3 goals and 2 assists in 10 games. He scored Iowa's first goal on Wednesday. And also watch out for Adam Goodsir making his Iowa debut. Goodsir previously played with the Worcester Railers. Last year he had 5 assists in 10 games. He played his college hockey at Long Island, a university and independent team. So watch out for Adam Goodsir. He'll be wearing number 12 in the specialty jersey. After tonight, he'll be wearing number 19. That will be his normal number. When we come back, we'll have face-off over at Xtream Arena as the Grizzlies take on the Iowa Heartlanders in the second of a 3-game set. It looks like it's Military Appreciation Night over at Xtream Arena as Iowa's wearing specialty jerseys for the occasion. As we mentioned before, it is a green jersey with red, white, and blue numbers. When we come back, we'll have face-off over in Iowa as I'm hanging out in the lobby at Maverick Center, and the hardwire internet looks like it's not working. That's right. The internet on the wall is not working. I'm on the Wi-Fi, and I hopefully will be able to describe the game for you despite some unfortunate circumstances. Tomorrow I'll be back in the Grizz Cave and call the game from there. We'll come back. We'll have face-off over in Iowa. It's the Grizzlies and the Heartlanders, 2 500 teams looking to break through here tonight on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Hey, with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
Expectations here will always remain high, and we'll continue to find a way.
Guys put together a lot of good games, you know.
It's the Grizzlies and the Heartlanders meeting for the fifth time all time, as Utah is 3-1 all time against the Heartlanders. And when we come back in 15 seconds, we'll have face-off over at Xtream Arena. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Great night for hockey as it's Military Appreciation Night over at Xtream Arena in Iowa. As I got a flag at center ice, Iowa is wearing specialty jerseys, Heartlanders, a green jersey with red, white, and blue numbers. Grizzlies are in the white jerseys with black numbers and professional green trim. Unfortunately, the hardwire internet that I was relying on isn't quite working, so my internet might be a little bit spotty, so my description, unfortunately, might be a little bit spotty as well. Both teams are at the 500 mark this season. Iowa has won 4 in a row, and they're looking to make it 5 in a row tonight. For the Grizzlies, they won 2 of their last 3 games. They're a 500 club right now. It's only their second road game, as Utah started the season with 7 straight games at Maverick Center, where they went 4-3, and it's odd that the first road game was played at 10:35 locally in the Central Time Zone. Utah had a 2-1 lead, but Davis Kosh scored a power play goal late in the second period, and then Liam Coughlin, 5:27 into the third period, scored from the slot on an open look, and that gave Iowa a 3-2 lead, and they held on to that lead throughout the rest of regulation. Josh Wesley, the Grizzlies captain, and Iowa captain Kevin McKernan over there as they got the ceremonial puck drop, as got a couple of members of the military, and we certainly thank them for their service, as looks like a fun atmosphere over in Iowa as it's Military Appreciation Night. The Iowa numbers on the back of their jersey are red, white, and blue. It's kind of easy to spot on a close-up, and on a wide angle might be a little bit difficult to see. Starting in net, we got a good goaltending battle. Trent Miner for the Grizzlies and Peyton Jones for the Heartlanders. Jones played in 2 seasons with the Grizzlies back in 2021 and 2022. He's won 25 games for Utah over that 2-year stretch. A starting lineup once again for Utah, it's going to be Tyler Penner, Dylan Fitz, and Mick Messner. That's the forwards. The starting defensive pairing is Brian Yoon and Keone Teixeira. Iowa at center ice in their specialty jerseys. They'll be skating from right to left, Utah from left to right. Grizz win the draw as Brian Yoon gets to Teixeira, and we're underway as Yoon near side over to Fitz, who crosses center ice right wing. He tried to dump it in, but just got to the Iowa blue line as battle. Fitz skates towards the corner. Iowa gets there first as they'll wrap it around the wall. As we're about 20 seconds in, as Brian Yoon throws it to center ice, actually back in the Grizzly zone, as Teixeira throws it over to Yoon in the near corner as he moves it ahead. As Messner gets it to Fitz around center ice, Fitz with a diagonal pass that connects Grizzlies left wing. Messner with a shot that goes wide as it goes to the right point. Brett Stapley around the wall as Messner lets it go. Far side as Burke feeds it to the left point. Grizzlies throw it over to the high slot. Utah with oh golly, my screen's frozen. Utah with a righty shot, and looks like it goes wide, and we get a whistle with 19:12 left in the first. Everybody make your pick for the Optum first goal of the game as who's going to score first. As we're 48 seconds in, Burke will take the draw. for Utah against Iowa's Odin Tufto. Tufto leads Iowa with 9 points this season, all of them assists. Draw won by Iowa as they lift it in the air, and Grizzlies get it. Utah to the left circle as they roll it around Iowa's net. Wesley fires it across, it bounced off a body as Hunter Lelig was in the area. Iowa clears it out to center. Heartlanders move over to the right side behind Utah's net as Jesse Jocks throws to the left circle. Utah picks it off. Stapley across to Burke, who gets the center ice. He'll tap it in. Burke chases after it. Lelig in the area. Lelig collides with Burke, who goes over to the far side as Iowa pitches it out to center ice. It goes to Jacob Semick in his first shift of the game as Raby dumps it in. As Iowa's Peyton Jones cuts it off behind the net. Martell throws to the left circle. Raby dances around. Lefty shot. And it goes wide as we get a whistle with 18-16 left in the first. Still no score. Draw is going to be in the right circle. As Utah with an offensive zone draw, actually they point to the other side. Referee tonight is Michael Zyla. We know that John Watson's one of the two linesmen. We're not sure who the other linesman is. Draw is going to be in the left side. Cutler takes it, and he wins it. As Raby over in the corner, Cutler as well. So he'll spin it along towards the right point. Grizzlies get it back around towards Cutler's behind Utah's net. As Raby towards the near goal line, as Martell's in the area, as the Rooster has to go out to center ice. Well, unfortunately, my screen is just not giving me a clear signal right now. Utah crosses center ice left wing, rolls along to Martell as Raby throws it to the far side. It goes wide as Iowa carries it out to center ice. Now they cross the blue line, and they lose the puck. As it goes over to Yoon, across to Cutler, who gets to center ice. Now he crosses the blue and chips it to the far corner. Yoon chases after it. He gets pushed by Justin Wells, and it goes to Iowa as they skate along the near side. Iowa crosses center ice. Now they enter the zone, left wing. Fire a shot, saved by Minor as the Grizz. Yoon lifts it out to center ice, and it's gloved and dropped by Iowa. Now taking it's Dean Yakura. He throws to the corner. He gets knocked down, and that's going to be a penalty as Yakura threw it to the corner, then chased after it, and he got knocked down, I believe, by Chris Leip. And Leip's going to skate towards the penalty box, and Utah's going to be on the power play first. 2 minutes and 53 seconds into the game. So Leip gets 2 minutes. He knocked down Dean Yakura, I believe. As unfortunately, my screen was just freezing all sorts of ways. We'll try to describe it the best we can, though, for the listening audience. Burke will take the draw for Utah. Looks like he's got Raby to his right. Taking it for Iowa is Liam Coughlin. As Iowa wins the draw, Grizzlies keep it in. As over to the left point, Mayhew throws to the left circle. Grizzlies dance around. They get it back towards Mayhew, but Iowa pokes it out the center. It goes into the Grizzlies zone. Teixeira gets there in front of Derflinger. Jake Derflinger, number 16, is back deep in the Grizzlies zone. Minor throws to Mayhew. Mayhew skates along the right wing. Now he crosses center ice. Mayhew gains the line, drops it off. The only guy there at the high slot was Iowa, and they clear it out. Minor behind his net, 3.5 minutes in. Still no score. Iowa's taken one shot. Grizzlies haven't taken any yet. Mayhew drops it off for Stapley, who skates down the middle. Now he throws a left wing pass. Grizz cross center. Cutler rolls it along the wall as Jones cuts it off behind his net. He throws it out of play. Is it going to be delay of game? I think it might be. Fans certainly want it. The Grizzlies want it. Fans don't. As a fan in row one got a souvenir and gave it to a fan in row two. Looks like they're not going to call delay of game. They say it bounced off the glass. So we'll skate 5-on-4 as Grizzlies are on the power play. They've got about 50 seconds, I think, on that power play left. They don't have the number on the score bug. It might be a little bit more than a minute. As Iowa throws over to the far side, they clear it out. Josh Wesley with the long stride skates after it. So he gets pushed in the back behind Utah's net. As Wesley pushes a Heartlander into the Utah's net. Now Wesley starts the attack. Cutler crosses center ice, skates down the middle, trying to get it Stapley. Bounced off his stick. Iowa clears it out. Minor gets over to Josh Wesley, who skates behind Utah's net in slow motion, according to the lousy Wi-Fi I've got today, as Stapley throws it behind his back. As Cutler dances around neutral ice, he's at the Utah blue line, turns it over. Iowa skates down the middle with a breakaway. And Davis Kosh backhand shot, and he scores. Shorthanded goal as Cutler turned it over. Davis Kosh had a breakaway with Cutler chasing after him. And Davis Kosh now has a goal in back-to-back games for Iowa as the Heartlanders have taken a 1-0 lead. Well, Cutler was just kind of dancing around the Utah blue line, and Kosh took it away from him. Then Kosh skated down the middle and went towards his right. Backhand shot got past Trent Miner. And what looks to be a good crowd over at Xtream Arena. So Kosh scores first for Iowa, and that is his 4th goal of the season. He made a nice move and looked like he went low on Miner as the Heartlanders draw first blood. I think it was late in the power play, as I think we're back down to 5-on-5 skating. Hard to say. The score bug doesn't have it as Utah crosses center ice. Grizz might still be on the power plays. They get it to Raby on the left side. Raby dances around, throws it across to Teixeira. Now it's the left side for Mayhew. Back to Teixeira. Right circle, feeds it across. Grizz take a lefty shot. Saved by Jones. Rebound goes out towards the far boards as Raby feeds it up top. Now goes to Teixeira over to the right side. Burke with a shot that's blocked. As I think we're back to 5-on-5 as Burke feeds it to the left side. Grizz in the offensive zone as Cole Gallant rolls it around the right side. Teixeira in the area. He cuts off Iowa. Puck goes back behind Iowa's goal line, behind their net. So Heartlanders throw it to the far side. Now they clear it out. Utah chases after it. Does Kyle Mayhew. He gets the puck. As Mayhew now on the near side, we'll move it ahead to center ice. As Grizz, Mick Messner chases after it. Jones behind his net will play it as Messner had to go past him. As Iowa crosses center ice, they'll roll it along the wall. As it's taken by Adam Goodser in his Iowa debut. He feeds it up top. Left point, righty shot goes wide as there was a lot of bodies out in front of Miner. Now puck goes over to the right circle. Righty shot goes wide. Puck glanced off the end wall. Now it's on the left side. Iowa just outside the left circle as Tufto fires towards the net, and looks like Miner makes the save. We're exactly 6 minutes into the game. Iowa leads 1-0. Hopefully everybody that's listening on YouTube is able to follow along even just a little bit, as unfortunately my screen's been glitching the whole time. I think there's a timeout on the ice. We'll take one as well. Grizzlies 1 shot to Iowa's 4 as Davis Kosh scored unassisted on a breakaway. And we come back in 30 seconds and continue to have hockey as Iowa leads. Actually, looks like we're not going to break. We'll keep it right here as Louis Boudon. We take the face-off against Jordan Martell, left circle of the Grizzlies zone. As the draw won by Utah, Brian Yoon will throw it to Teixeira, who will move it to the far side for Raby. Gets hit along the far wall. As Martell gets it back, he'll skeet towards the far goal line and take a righty shot. And Yoon started to celebrate, but it goes wide as Martell gets it to the corner. Now it rolls back to the far side as Iowa lifts it out to center ice. Yoon back defensively as Iowa skeets towards the right circle as they get held up. Fans want to call, none to be had as it goes to the left circle. As Iowa skates around Raby, now skates around Utah's net. And they look for a centering pass that goes wide as Martell will cross center. He gets knocked down at the Iowa blue line. Doesn't look like there's a call as the Heartlanders skate from right to left. About 7 minutes in, Iowa leads 1-0 as Davis Kosh got his 4th of the year. Iowa skates in, but they lose it. Grizzlies left side will enter, and they'll dump it in. As Iowa, towards the end wall, gets double-teamed. Grizzlies hacking away. I think that's Burke over there. Stapley's in the area. Stapley to the left point. It gets hit as the puck glided along the far boards. Iowa gets it. Heartlanders have numbers as they chip it over towards Campoli. He couldn't get it. Campoli now on the near corner as he'll feed it back to the left point as it goes back around the wall. Iowa, right side. They look to center it out in front. It glanced off a Grizzly stick and rolls towards Miner, who covers up in front of the crease. 12:37 left in the first period. Iowa leads 1-0. Now we got a timeout. We'll be back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Iowa leads 1-0 as Davis Kosh scored unassisted 4:29 into the first. It was a shorthanded goal. Chris Leip got a tripping minor 2:54 in of Iowa, and late, looked like a minute 35 into the Grizzlies power plays when Kosh took it away from Cutler and just skated down the middle, then went to his right with a backhand shot and slid it under Trent Miner. I believe he went 5-hole. Iowa 6 shots to the Grizzlies 1. As Peyton Jones has stopped the only shot that was taken by Nathan Burke. Miner so far has stopped 5 of 6. Draws going to be in the Grizzly zone on the far side as Dean Yakura will take it against, I think, Odin Tufto. As we apologize, my screen's been glitching the whole time and pausing back and forth, and I'm not able to see a clear picture. As I got the hardwire in, but yeah, it looks like the internet's not working there. Good sir will take it after Tufto's kicked out of the face-off circle. As action in the Grizzly zone, draw one by Utah. As they get it out to center ice through the Grizz, Messner in the area, Yakura as Messner right side trying to locate it. He feeds it to Yakura, skates in, righty shot, saved by Jones. As the puck goes back over to the far side, Grizzlies chip it off the screen. It goes to Mayhew, who rolls along the wall. Grizz towards the far goal line, try to get it back to Mayhew as collision, 2-on-2, as now everybody stops skating right there after the collision, as maybe between frames I saw maybe the puck went out of play. Hard to really say. As both teams are skating towards their benches, both teams make a change here in the middle game of this 3-game set. Power will take the draw. He's got Raby. Actually, it's Cutler taking the draw. Raby over there, Martell. As Iowa wins the face-off, they skate from right to left here in the first period. As they lift it out to center ice, it's gloved. As Grizz get it over to Cutler. As screen froze again. Iowa skates over to the left side. Looks to center it out in front. Now the Grizz come back the other way. As Cutler skates towards the middle, it tries to get over towards Raby. Puck glides towards Jones, who covers up along the near goal line. 11:45 left in the first. Iowa leads 1-0 as Cutler skated down the middle, and he was double-teamed. The puck just kind of slid towards Jones. Raby was skating by, but Jones was able to cover up before Raby could get the puck. Specialty jerseys worn by Iowa. Green jersey with kind of a red stripe there on the elbow and red, white, and blue numbers. As Iowa now has it in their offensive zone. So bouncing off the far wall. 8.5 minutes in, Iowa leads 1-0 as the Heartlanders towards the far goal line lose it. Grizz skate around their net. Does Corey Thomas. He lifts it high into the air, bounces into the Heartlanders zone. Iowa clears it back to center. Grizzlies get it back at their blue line as Thomas will move a diagonal pass to the left side that goes wide. As Iowa, their long-range pass doesn't connect. Semick gets it back as I'm just seeing frames here. I'm not really seeing a smooth action as Burke behind Utah's net. Throws to the far side as Utah gets it to center. Looking for Gallant. Gallant at the Utah blue line with a couple Grizzlies. Utah moves it ahead as Messner skates down the middle, loses it as he was crossing the Iowa blue line as the Heartlanders will dump it in. Utah chases after it. 10:37 and counting left in the first as Teixeira pushes Iowa over along the end wall. Messner over there pushing Campoli as Teixeira, one of the strongest of all the Grizzlies, as Iowa throws to the point. It's picked off by Penner, who throws it across off the far wing boards. Fitz couldn't reach it. Now Iowa skates towards the right circle. Yoon shadowing as the Heartlanders drop it off. Iowa gets it across. And shot goes wide as Grizz Jared Power, neutralized. He'll dump it in as Fitz around towards Power. Power battles behind Iowa's net. Heartlanders throw it back to the far side as Iowa chips out towards center. Grizz kept it in as Mayhew dances around. He's on the right side, throws over towards Wesley, rolls it around. Power lets it go to the near corner as Ben Brinkman feeds it back to the far side as Iowa will bounce it towards the left point. Wesley kept it in. Martell skates towards the corner. Now it's at neutral ice. Iowa will skate to the left circle. They'll fire a lefty shot that goes wide as it rolls along the far boards. Martell leads all Grizzlies forwards with a +2 rating, gets knocked down. Iowa in the high slot. Righty shot is blocked by Wesley as action along the near boards. Puck goes to Utah as Wesley at the near goal line will... I don't know what he does. Screen froze again. He'll throw it to center ice. Bouncy puck in the Heartlanders zone as Iowa, Hunter Lelig throws to Liam Coughlin. Coughlin now at neutral ice. He gets around Cutler. Raby's in the area as Iowa enters. Coughlin delivers a hit on Thomas. Mayhew make that Martell right side. Righty shot goes wide. Iowa crosses center ice. Heartlanders skate towards the right circle and fire a shot. And in between frames, I couldn't see what happened to the shot, but it looks like it goes wide. Grizz get it as Raby skates down the middle with speed. Shot goes off the end wall. Power, make that Cutler. So throw it towards the near wall as Iowa clears it back to center. As the Heartlanders dumping in, but not all the way. As Teixeira throws behind his back. Yoon glides over there. Make that Brett Stapley, who throws it to center ice as the puck extends off the stick of Raby. As Iowa dumps it in, as Yoon behind his net will throw it to the near side. Iowa fires a shot and couldn't tell what happened to it. Puck goes to the left circle. Lefty shot is blocked in front of Minor. As now Iowa back along the left point as the Heartlanders feed it across. Iowa shot saved by Minor as puck goes back to Iowa. They get it across left wing, lefty shot, and Brinkman fanned on it as Cole Gallant gets out towards center ice. It's retaken by Iowa as they lift it in the air and bounces off the end boards on one hop of the ice. Minor gets it to Yoon. As he moves ahead to Mayhew. Left wing pass to Messner. He lets it go as Fitz chases after it along with Penner. 7 minutes and counting left in the first as Utah gets it. Fitz tried to throw a pass and ended up back towards him. As unfortunately, my screen has glitched so much that's really impossible to describe this one. Over to the right circle, Iowa centers it, and it's picked off by Fitz. Make that Josh Wesley. As he throws out to center ice for Fitz, who dumps it in. 6.5 minutes left in the first period. 1-0 Iowa. As they scored shorthanded to Davis Kosh about 5.5 minutes in. As Iowa skates towards the right side with numbers. Iowa centering pass, backhand shot, and a score. It's now 2-0 Heartlanders as Tufto delivered a pass and looked like my screen froze for good, but it looked like they were able to get one down the middle right in front of the net on a pass from Tufto as they spotlight Will Calverley as they look for a centering pass. Calverley got it, backhand shot, and as he was falling down, got it past Trent Minor. Iowa's taken 9 shots. Grizzlies have 1. 6:21 left in the first period. Heartlanders lead 2-0. So Calverley gets the goal. Tufto with his 10th assist of the season. Looks like we're back to live action. Grizzlies throw it out to center ice. And now Iowa, left side, shot, goes wide. Internet's just, it's not even watchable. I can't even describe it. As Iowa, towards the near goal line, feeds out to the left circle. They throw it to the right side between the legs of a Heartlander. As Iowa, towards the right point, as they're in the offensive zone, They feed it back to the far corner that was vacated. As Thomas chases after as the puck glides along the end wall. As Iowa fires a shot that's wide. It seems like I'm seeing one frame every 6 seconds. Heartlander, right side, now across as righty shot by Robbie Stucker in his Iowa season debut. Goes wide as the puck bounced over to Trent Miner, who makes the save. 5:15 left in the first. Iowa's up to 10 shots. Utah's taken 1. We'll come back and see if we can figure out how this internet works. When we come back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
.5:13 left in the first. Iowa leads 2-0. Heartlanders win the face-off. They're in the offensive zone. Kosh has a goal. He throws to the near side. Now they chip it across. Yoon challenges. As we'll see if we get some internet to describe the action. This is very depressing. Right point, Iowa skates towards the right circle. They feed it to Kosh on the left side. He gets it back to the right. As Iowa one-timer, they score. That's Louis Boudon. As it's now a 3-0 game. Boudon skates towards the bench to high-five everybody on Iowa's side as the Heartlanders now have led 3-0 as a Heartlander was on the left side, fed it across. Louis Boudon was all alone. Kosh over to Boudon, one-timer, got past Trent Miner. 4:53 left in the first period as Iowa leads 3-0. The Heartlanders have outshot the Grizzlies 11-1. Good passing by the Heartlanders. They've had the puck in the offensive zone basically every frame I've been able to see, which has been basically every 6 seconds. 4:53 left in the first. Cutler will take the draw. He wins it. Grizz skate from left to right. As we see it frame by frame, Iowa gets it. They skate into the offensive zone. As Iowa off the end boards, as the Heartlanders really have dominated this first period. Utah still in their own zone as Cutler will toss it in. And it looks like Utah's called for icing. 4:31 left in the first. Same teams tomorrow night. Tomorrow's game will start at 6:05. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:50. As draws in the right circle of the Grizzlies zone. Cutler will take the draw against Odin Tufto. As a face-off won by Iowa. They take a shot. Looks like the Grizzlies block it. Now Martel, toe drag, right side shot, saved by Jones. As Iowa gets it back in the near goal line. Iowa lifts it high into the air. It bounces in the Grizzlies zone. Mike Mayhew chases after. He gets it before Tufto. As Utah will lift it. And looks like it goes out of play. Iowa wants a delay of game. Looks like the officials are going to talk it over. And delay of game is going to be the call. So it looks like Iowa's going to be back on the power play with 4:05 left in the first. So it looks like the Grizzlies are called for delay of game. 4:05 left in the first period. Heartlanders lead 3-0. They've outshot the Grizzlies 3-0, or they've outshot the Grizzlies 11-2. 3-0 Iowa. They're on the power play when we come back on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
It's Iowa 3, Utah 0, as Iowa's on the power play. The Grizzlies got called for delay of game. Of course, during the commercial break, the screen looks smooth. Now it's freezing again. Heartlanders throw it up top. Iowa will get to the right side. Now they feed it back to the left point. As the Heartlanders dance around the corner, Davis Kosh gets up top. Now it goes back to Kosh. Kosh, left side, throws to the goal line, back to Kosh. Shot saved by Minor. Trent holds on as he bobbled it for a second. Of the Iowa goals, Davis Kosh scored unassisted 429, and Will Calverley made it 2-0. He scored with Odin Tufto getting the assist, and then Louis Boudon made it 3-0. He scored 15:07, and Davis Kosh and Liam Coughlin with the assists. As the draw in the Grizzlies zone is won by Utah. Nathan Burke will clear it out. They don't have the time on the power play on the screen left for Iowa, but that's the least of my concerns right now. I'm just hoping for a clear picture. As Iowa gets to neutralize, Kosh will throw it back to the right. Iowa crosses center, they enter. As the Heartlanders get it back up top, Coughlin across. Now Iowa's deep in the Grizzlies zone, near goal line. They get it back up top. Now Kosh to the left side, looks to center, but stays in the left circle. As they get it up top, now back to the left circle. Kosh over in the corner, feeds it up top as Kozier gets to the right side. As Iowa gets it back up top for Kozier, over to Kosh. He looks to center it, and Grizzlies poke it away. I think Brian Yoon did. As Kosh throws to the left circle, goes back to Kosh. He falls down, but gets to the near goal line. Now Iowa up top, right circle, far goal line, as Iowa dance around. Now they get up top to Kozier. Will fire towards the far goal line. Gets poked by Yoon. Kosh feeds it to the near side as Iowa gets it back to Kosh. As Kosh throws up top for Kozier. Now to the right side. They get it down the middle. And now left side for Kosh. Near goal line. Iowa will feed it across. Shot. And I think Minor made the save. 2:08 left in the first. Iowa leads 3-0. Fitz will come on the ice with Brett Stapley, Kyle Mayhew, Corey Thomas. Looks like Utah's still shorthanded, as I believe they got called for delay of game a couple minutes ago. Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. First intermission, we'll try to recap the first period statistically and also give you some scores from around the world of sports. As Iowa wins the draw, and they dance around the left side, fire towards the net, and it's blocked out in front of Minor. And even 2 minutes left in the first, as then we see action about 6 seconds later. Thomas ahead towards Stapley. Power loses it as Iowa skates towards the right circle. Righty shot, saved by Minor. Rebound goes back to the far side, and out chips to the near corner. Thomas up ahead as Utah will cross center ice. Martell dumps it in. Jones behind his net will give it to a teammate. Only 2 shots for Utah, 15 for Iowa. As the Heartlanders, long-range pass doesn't connect. Their call for icing with 1:21 left in the first. I would have been up there in the same spot I called Wednesday's game, but there was a place I had to be at 4 o'clock, and there was an event tonight. Turned out to not be a good choice. Draws in the far circle. Power will take it against Tufto as Iowa wins the faceoff. It goes towards Ben Brinkman. Now the Grizz have it. As Raby skates along the goal line, Iowa pokes it away. Martell right side, 1:10 left in the first and counting. As Raby back up top for Martell, fires towards the net, bouncing puck. Jones gets on one hop, and he'll hold on to it as looked like a bouncing puck. You were looking for a redirection where the Grizz, and Jones is able to make the stop with 1:03 left in the first. As Martell got it on one hop, and then the puck glided towards the near goal line, and Jones, just outside his crease, was able to cover up. Grizz looking to find a way to climb back in this game. The shot from the right point was only the third by the Grizzlies so far. Face-offs on the right side, and it's won by Utah. Josh Wesley will fire it off the end wall. Martell behind the net loses it, as unfortunately it looks like Iowa's winning all the 50-50 pucks. As Cutler, action back in the Grizzlies zone high slot. Iowa chips to the near corner. As Wesley moves it out ahead. 43 seconds left. As now Utah has it across center ice. Martell dumps it in. Less than 1 minute left. The screen I'm watching is incredibly spotty. As it goes to the near side, Iowa, Boudon crosses center ice, right wing pass. Iowa in their specialty jerseys look good, and they feel good, and they're playing good. As Hume over to the near side, as Grizz carried out of the zone. Dylan Fitz will cross center ice, and he'll dump it in. 9 seconds left. Puck pokes back to center ice. As Iowa, new tries. Looks like they fired towards Minor. And that will do it for 20 minutes over at Xtream Arena. Iowa leads 3-0. They outshot the Grizzlies 16-3 in the first period. When we come back, we'll statistically recap the first 20 minutes, and we'll also go over some scores from around the world of sports. Through one period over at Xtream Arena, it's the Iowa Heartlanders 3 and the Utah Grizzlies 0. We're back in 2 minutes on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
First intermission over at Xtream Arena. Iowa leads 3-0. We want to apologize. The screen has been incredibly glitchy that I've tried to describe on, and it's been frozen enough to where it's impossible to really have a smooth call. We apologize to everybody. And it's very frustrating because this isn't some fun hobby for me. I'm trying to make a living. So hopefully in the next 2 periods, the internet will just mysteriously get better. Second period over in Indiana. Indy leads Wheeling 3-0. That game about halfway through. 14 minutes left in the second. Greenville leads Jacksonville 2-0. Halfway through the second, Newfoundland and Reading are tied at 1. Newfoundland is 5-5-2 this season. They will be at Maverick Center for the next homestand. That's going to be next week, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Next Grizzlies home game will be the day before Thanksgiving. It's going to be a Bud Light College night with tickets as low as $10. That should be a lot of fun. Newfoundland's one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference year in and year out. And they'll be at Maverick Center Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And don't forget, Friday is going to be Black Friday, where the Grizzlies going to be wearing specialty jerseys during warm-ups. And looks like a pretty good ticket deal as well. It's also an AFCU Friday where tickets start just $8. Tickets start just $10, and you pay using your AFCU debit or credit card at the Maverick Center box office. 14 minutes left in the second. Maine and Trois-Rivières are tied at 2. Halfway through the second period, Adirondack leads Norfolk 2-1. 14 minutes left in the second period. Cincinnati and Worcester are tied at 1. First intermission, Atlanta and Florida are tied at 2. Atlanta is 8-1 this season. Florida is the defending back-to-back Kelly Cup champions. They are 5-5-1. First intermission over in Savannah. Savannah leads South Carolina 3-0. 5 minutes left in the first. Toledo leads Kalamazoo 2-0. About 7 minutes in, over at Intrust Bank Arena, Rapid City and Wichita are scoreless. And getting underway in a little less than an hour, Allen is at Idaho. Allen 3-8 this season. Idaho is 9-2. Let's see what the NHL scoreboard looks like tonight. There are 3 games. One has gone final. Toronto defeats Detroit 3-2. 2 minutes in, Buffalo and Winnipeg are scoreless. And starting at 8 o'clock, Florida is at the Anaheim Ducks. 2 college football games later today. South Florida is at Texas San Antonio, and at 8:30, Colorado is at Washington State. In the NBA, the Jazz and Suns will play at 8 o'clock over at Delta Center. First intermission over in Iowa, and boy, it's all Heartlanders. What can you say? It seemed like from the point of the game I was watching, looked like the puck was just in the Grizzlies zone quite a bit. Iowa did score shorthanded, 4:29 in, as Grizzlies were on the power play. Brandon Cutler was at the Utah blue line, and then before he knew it, Davis Kosh took it away from him. Kosh skated down the middle and then fired a backhand shot that went under Trent Miner, went 5-hole, and it was an unassisted goal. 4:29 into the first period. It stayed a 1-0 game for about 9 minutes, and then 13:40 into the first. Will Calverley got his second of the year with Odin Tufto getting the assist. As Tufto was on the right wing center to Calverley, and Calverley put it away. It looked like as he was shooting, he fell down, but while he was laying down, was able to celebrate the goal, his second of the year. That was 13:40 into the first. And then less than a minute and a half later, Louis Boudon scored his second of the year with Davis Kosh and Landon Kozier getting the assist. That was a power play goal. Grizzlies did get 2 penalties. Dean Yakura got an interference minor, 14:46 into the first. And that's when Boudon scored to make it 3-0. And then later in the first period, Josh Wesley got 2 minutes for delay of game, 15:55 into the first. Iowa's 1 for 2 on the power play. Utah 0 for 1. Special teams played a big factor on Wednesday night, where Iowa went 2 for 3 and the Grizzlies 1 for 3. Utah's power play has been pretty good over the last 3 games coming into play tonight, as Utah 4 for 8 over the last 3 games. Penalty kill had been pretty good in the Wichita series. They were 7 for 8 against Wichita, but just 1 for 3 on Wednesday night and 1 for 2 here so far. Doesn't look like the internet's getting any better despite the adjustments I've tried to make. I guess just one of those nights. And unfortunately, for the Grizzlies, it just hasn't been a very good first period for them as well. Down 3-0. We'll come back and talk some hockey on the other side. Once again, the score after 1 period over at Xtream Arena, where it looks like a pretty good crowd tonight. And it's Military Appreciation Night. Iowa's wearing specialty jerseys for the occasion, and they lead the Grizzlies 3-0. We're back in 2 minutes on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. Face-off for the second period will be just under 9 minutes from now. Hopefully we'll be able to describe it for you a little bit better than what we did here in the first period where my screen just was glitching the entire time. Some Grizzlies who have been playing well. I know that Iowa's playing their best hockey maybe in their entire existence. They're on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead 3-0 here tonight as they show some highlights of the first period. Davis Kosh scored the first goal, just got around Brandon Cutler after taken away from him, and then veered off to the right. And, of course, my screen froze about the time he was able to take the shot, so I couldn't quite describe exactly the kind of shot that he took. But, Jordan Martell has been one of Utah's outstanding performers all year. In fact, he's got a +2 rating that leads all Grizzlies forwards. In fact, Martell last year led Grizzlies forwards in plus-minus at +12. So the Rooster just continues to get the job done for the Grizzlies year in and year out. But how about Dylan Fitz? Over the last 2 games coming into play, 3 goals. He had 2 goals and was the game's #1 star last Saturday in Utah's 4-1 win. And then he scored Utah's second goal, which was on the power play, and that gave Utah a 2-1 lead. Unfortunately, after that, Iowa's outscored Utah 5-0. In the first period, Fitz didn't take a shot. There was only 3 shots by the Grizzlies in the first period. Nathan Burke, Jordan Martell, and Brandon Cutler had 1 shot each. For Iowa, Louis Boudon had 4 shots, including 1 goal, which was the power play goal to make it 3-0. Davis Kosh, Will Calverley had 2 shots, and then a few other Heartlanders had 1 shot each in the first period. Looked like Iowa scored 3 different ways in the first period. They scored a shorthanded goal that Kosh had 4:29 in, and then a 5-on-5 goal, 13:40 in, with Calverley getting his second of the year, with Tufto picking up his 10th assist. Tufto hasn't scored a goal yet, and yet he leads the Heartlanders with 10 points, all of them coming on assists. And then on the power play, after Yakura's interference minor, 14:46 in, early in the power play, Louis Boudon made it 3-0. He scored 15:07 in, with Davis Kosh and Landon Kozier getting the assists. This is the second of a 3-game series between the Grizzlies and Heartlanders. Saturday night's going to start at 6:05. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:50, and that'll be the third and final time these teams meet all season. Utah 3-1 all-time against Iowa, as the Grizz swept Iowa in a 3-game series in the 2021-22 season. And Iowa, obviously, on Wednesday morning, winning 3-2, and they lead 3-0 here tonight. Next homestand for the Grizzlies is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a 3-game set against the Newfoundland Growlers. are one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. Wednesday night is going to be a Bud Light College night with $10 tickets. That's going to be the day before Thanksgiving on Wednesday, November 22nd. And then Black Friday is going to be a 7-10 showdown. It's going to be an AFC Friday as well. And then Saturday is going to be a lot of fun on November 25th for the third and final game of the series. And then after that, the Grizzlies go back on the road. They take on the Allen Americans on Friday, December 1st, before traveling to BOK Center for 2 games, Saturday, December 2nd at 6:05 in the Mountain Time Zone, then Sunday, December 3rd at 3:05. It's kind of odd when you think about the schedule where the Grizzlies play Newfoundland 6 times, and they only play Wichita, who's a division opponent, 4 times in the regular season. That's right, the Grizzlies face Newfoundland, obviously geographically is about as far away from Utah as you can possibly get. They play them more times than the Wichita Thunder. In fact, the Grizzlies, you talk about division opponents, they play Idaho 14 times this year. They've already played them twice at Maverick Center. Utah plays Tulsa 10 times, 8 more than the regular season. Utah swept Tulsa in the first 2 games of the regular year. The Grizz play Allen 7 times this season. They also play Kansas City and Rapid City 9 times. And how about the story of the Kansas City Mavericks? They're off to an outstanding start this season as the Mavericks are 11-2 on the regular year. It looks like they are off tonight. Kansas City tomorrow will play. Looks like they're off tomorrow as well. It's Kansas City 10-2. They played on Thursday. Kansas City actually played last night and won 4-1 at Tulsa. So as we sit in the Mountain Division standings, Kansas City is in first place with a record of 11-2 with 22 standings points and an .846 point percentage. Idaho is in second place with a 9-2 record and an .818 point percentage. Grizzlies and Tulsa are actually tied for the third best point percentage in the division. Tulsa is 5-5-1 this season, and Utah 4-4. Wichita and Rapid City each have 9 standings points. Wichita is 4-7-1. Rapid City is 4-6-1. And the Allen Americans right now are in last place with a 3-8 record. But looks like Allen made some moves, acquired a couple defensemen, and they're hoping that can jumpstart their defensive attack. As obviously Allen's one of those teams that if they're offensively anything like they were last year, it looks like they're going to have quite a bit of offensive firepower. When we come back, hopefully we'll have second period action over at Xtream Arena as the Grizzlies are going to hope to find a way to climb back in this one. Iowa leads 3-0. The Heartlanders outshot the Grizzlies 16-3 in the first period. This is the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Welcome back as I'm hanging out in the lobby at Maverick Center. Grizzlies are over at Xtream Arena. It's a 3-0 contest as Peyton Jones stretches before the start of the second period. Jones and Trent Miner were the Grizzlies goaltenders along with Garrett Metcalf there in the 2021-22 season when the Grizzlies won the division title for the first time in team history. Peyton Jones, in his first year with Utah, had an 8-6-3 record with an 886 save percentage and 3.12 goals against average. That's the 2020-21 season. The following year, he went 17-9-1 with a 904 save percentage and 3.26 goals against average. One roster move made by the Grizzlies yesterday was actually the AHL affiliate that made the move, as defenseman Gianni Fairbrother was recalled to Colorado, and he was replaced in the Grizzlies lineup tonight with Jacob Semick. Semick wearing number 17. Otherwise, it's the same lineup as the Grizzlies rolled with on Wednesday night. So it looks like we'll have second period action here shortly. Let's see, as we'll try to describe the game the best we can with the frozen screen at times. As Utah wins the draw, they skate from right to left in the second period as Brian Yoon dumps it in. Heartlanders in the military-themed jersey skate from left to right. As Iowa crosses center ice, Penner delivers a hit as Brian Yoon chases after it deep in the Grizzlies zone. Utah coming out strong here the first 15 seconds of the second period to try to climb back in this game. Tufto around Utah's net. He feeds to the left point as Iowa lefty shot is blocked out in front of Minor as Josh Wesley lifts it out as the puck on its side wobbles to the far corner. No icing deep in Iowa's zone as the puck glides along the near wall. Stapley delivers a hit, fits left point, fires towards the net wide as it ricochets off the end boards right side. The Grizzlies across towards Burke. Lefty blast goes wide as the puck glides along the far wall all the way towards Trent Minor. Minor behind his net will feed it to the far side as we're about a minute into the second period. 3-0 Iowa. Heartlanders skate towards the corner. They look to center it, glanced off of Stapley's skate as Iowa around the net. Stapley delivers a hit. It goes back to the far side. Adam Goodserp throws to the point, and nobody's home as all the way in the Iowa zone. No icing as the Heartlanders get their first near corner deep in the Iowa zone as Gallant gets tripped up. Is there a call made? I don't think so. Corey Thomas, left wing. Shot gets redirected. Iowa gets it back as they lift it in the air. Bounces at center ice. Grizzlies have it their blue line as they move it ahead. Grizz looked for Martell in the center ice logo, but it goes back to Iowa. 1.5 minutes into the second period, Heartlanders lead by a field goal, 3-0. Iowa dumps it in. Minor will give way to Corey Thomas, wearing number 44 over to the far side. Raby extends the stick and gathers it. He crosses center right wing and dumps it in. Raby with outstanding speed gets there before McKernan, who wasn't expecting him. As Martell over to Cutler right side. He feeds up top to Yoon across to Teixeira. Take a lefty shot. He gets redirected. A lot of bodies in the crease. Martell hacking away. Raby falls down in front of the net as Teixeira back over to Martell as he's along the near wall across to Yoon, who fakes a shot, gets to Teixeira, who skates towards the right point and rolls it along the wall. Martell over to the right side, pushes around an Iowa skater. Cutler skates over there and bounces off a skate as the puck now glides along the near wing boards as Iowa pitchforks it out to center ice. Raby throws it back in. Jones cuts it off at the near goal line and gives it to Kevin McKernan. 2.5 minutes into the second period. Still 3-0 Iowa. Heartlanders skate in 2-on-3, far boards. They're in the Grizzlies zone. Gallant with a hit as Grizzlies throw it out to the point, and Utah gets it. Grizz skate from right to left as they move it ahead. Over to the high slot. Now back over to Yakura. Left wing shot. Saved by Jones. Wesley trying to redirect it out in front. And Iowa carries it out to center ice. 3 minutes into the second. Mayhew with a poke check, and the puck goes back over to Utah as Dean Yakura dances around in the near circle. Yakura will drop it off for Mayhew as Utah will spread the ice. Mayhew 3 goals this season, 2 of them unassisted. Skates down the middle, loses at neutral ice. As Iowa skates back in as they drop it off. Heartlanders, left wing, lefty shot, saved by Minor, and it deflects out of play. 16:38 left in the second. 3-0 Iowa as Campoli, number 89. The jerseys look really good, but from a far angle, it's tough to spot the numbers. As Campoli runs into Jacob Semick accidentally. Campoli scored Iowa's first goal on Tuesday. That was 6:01 into the second period. He had 12 games with Iowa at the end of last season and had 1 goal and 2 assists. Campoli played at Clarkson University. He was a Clarkson product, same college that Michael Underwood attended for 4 years. Off the drop, Iowa wins it. Left wing, shot, glove save by Miner. He holds on. 16:34 left in the second period. Already the Grizzlies with, I think, 4 shots in the second period. Can't tell because there's this live thing right there on the right side where the Grizzlies shot count is. I think it's 4 shots for the Grizzlies here in the second period. Iowa is yet to take one. Or maybe that shot was the first one that went on Miner. Now left wing, lefty shot. Saved by Miners. He makes the body stop with 16:21 left in the second. Now Iowa's taking a shot. Heartlanders look pretty impressive defensively. I've been impressed with what I've seen from Kevin McKernan and Ben Brinkman. They're rolling 7 D-men here tonight. They did trade Nolan Orzak, a defenseman, to the Allen Americans. We'll probably see him later in the season in an Allen uniform, as Utah will take on Allen for a game a couple weeks from tonight. Draw's going to be in the left circle. Looks like a good Friday night crowd over there. Military appreciation as Tufto takes the draw against, I think, Tyler Penner. Utah wins it. As Teixeira over to Nathan Burke, who moves out to center ice, taken by Stapley. He skates down to the right circle. Righty shot, saved by Jones. And he corrals it as good look there by Stapley and Burke. That combination as Stapley had a good look from the right circle, but Peyton Jones made the stop. Stapley took the shot with Gallant cutting down the middle, and then Burke was on the left wing. Jones made the stop. As the draw is going to be in the Iowa zone, like the aggressiveness from the Grizzlies here, already 5 shots in the second period. They only had 3 in the entire first period. So let's see if that translates into a score here in the second. Draw in the right circle is won by, kind of stays in the circle for a little bit, poked away by Gallant. Now Iowa gets it near side. They move it ahead. Yoon cuts it off in the left point. Grizzlies keep it in. As Utah, Jacob Semick loses it. I make that Stapley. And Iowa moves it ahead towards the Grizzlies zone deep. Miner covers up in the crease. He thought about giving it up, but looks like we get a whistle as looks like icing is going to be on Utah, I think. I don't know. Arm is raised. Draw is going to be in the Grizzlies zone. Miner might have covered up and made a save there. As Yoon will be out there for Utah along with Teixeira, as looks like Gallant, Stapley, and Burke are the 3 forwards. Taking the face-off for Iowa, Davis Kosh, who's got a goal in back-to-back games here in this series. Utah wins the face-off. Teixeira lifts it out to center ice. Bouncing puck as the Heartlanders near Utah's bench. The bench areas are on the near side as we see it on Flow Sports. As Burke tried to dump it in, he bounced off a Heartlander. He gets back and feeds it across to Yoon far side. Yoon drives it around the wall. Cut off by Iowa behind their net as Jones stayed in front. As Iowa neutralized, right wing pass doesn't connect. Grizzlies poke it back to center ice. Raby skates down the middle, over skates it as Iowa will skate in from the right side. Heartlanders feed it across, but it bounced off the skate of Teixeira. Make that Wesley. Wesley out there along with Mayhew. As Raby ahead to Martell, he crosses center ice and backhands it in. Martell chases after it. He's a +2 this season. They collide as Raby got to Cutler, who bobbled it. Now Cutler gets it back. He's the near goal line, skates around the net as he drops off for Raby. Raby left side skates towards the point as he'll skate towards his right as he's being held up from the side with Kevin McKernan. As right side, Grizzlies rolled along to the near side as Utah skates from right to left in the second period. And Grizz bobbled it as Mayhew skates all the way back deep in the Grizzly zone to get it. He'll throw it to the near side. Semick's over there. As near side, Grizzlies chip it to Messner as they try to drop it off. And now Semick gets it right side on a pass. Semick crosses center and he whips it around the boards. As Iowa loses it, Dylan Fitz skates down the near goal line. Shot saved by Jones. Rebound goes to Iowa. As Jake Derflinger has got good speed, drops off to the near corner. As Iowa skates from left to right. Rink-wide pass connects. Iowa skates to the left side. Now they veer off to the right. Iowa drops off to the left circle. Lefty shot goes wide as Penner dropped an Iowa skater in front of the crease. As the Heartlanders throw it to their blue line as they restart the attack. Outlet pass doesn't connect. Semick chases after it. Miner behind his net. Feeds it to the far side as Utah, 6 minutes into the second period, they trail 3-0 as Messner skates into the right corner and veers towards the end wall, chases after it, but Iowa pokes it away. Heartlanders beat it to center ice, and it glanced off a skate. Another Heartlander gets it. Now Boudon drops it off in the right circle. Nobody home. Burke comes back the other way across the center ice. Now he crosses the blue. Burke with a nice move, skates towards his right. Lefty shot. Saved by Jones. What a move by Nathan Burke. Skating to his right. Had a good look, but Jones makes the save and covers up. 13:25 left in the second. Heartlanders lead the Grizzlies 3-0. We're back in 1 minute on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
Iowa 3, Utah 0. Grizz in the second period have outshot the Heartlanders 6-1. But 3 Iowa first period goals, and they're in control. Nathan Burke made a really nice move towards his right, had a good look, and Jones was able to make the stop. But I think Nathan Burke, we talk about, it seems like every game, the great college career he had at Bowling Green over the last 2 seasons, and looks like he's going to be a pretty good goal scorer in this league. And he's a guy that, even spent 10 games in San Jose in the AHL and even had some success over there as well. Draw's going to be an offensive zone 1 for Utah in the right circle. Stapley kicked out of the circle. Burke will take the draw. He's got Cole Gallant to his right. As good crowd there on a Friday night over at Xtream Arena, Military Appreciation Night. As Iowa wearing specialty jerseys, numbers are tough to spot. Right wing shot is blocked out in front of Jones, about 5 feet in front of him. As Heartlanders carried into the attack zone, right side. Iowa whips it to the corner as Teixeira holds on to a Heartlander. Stapley comes out with a puck as he moves it ahead. Burke with good speed crosses center. He dumps it in and chases after it as he gets cut off by Landon Kozier, is a big defenseman, number 44. Kozier, 6 feet, 185 pounds. As Grizz throw it to the left side, but it's taken away by Iowa. Heartlanders been active with their sticks. Grizz from neutral ice, dump it back in. As Jones will give way as Iowa spreads the ice. As Utah gets a new set of forwards, including Fitz out there. Iowa gets knocked down at the Utah blue line and trying to accept a pass. Grizz get it. Delayed offside, no penalty as Wesley gets to neutral ice. Now they've stopped play as Wesley was carrying it to neutral ice. 7.5 minutes into the second period. I wonder if they're going to call something there as a Heartlander went down in the Grizzlies zone. It might have been away from the whistle as Jared Power looked like he might have gotten in some words with an Iowa skater. And the draw is going to be in the Heartlander zone, but it looks like there's 5 out there for Iowa. So something happened away from the screen. As an offensive zone draw for Utah, Dean Yakura will take the face off for Iowa. Couldn't quite see who that was. I think that's Coughlin. Coughlin took the draw and he wins it as Iowa lifts it in the air. Puck kind of wobbles on its side and deep in the Grizzlies zone. Mayhew gathers it. Mayhew gets blasted along the far side. Iowa skates along the far goal line now around Utah's net. They chip it to the right point. Righty shot goes wide. There's about 4 bodies in front of Minor. Grizz carried out to center ice. Fitz right wing, lifts it in as it bounces off the end boards on one hop. As Power chases after it, as he's on the right side trying to evade a Heartlander skater. As Power goes down, he centers it out in front. Iowa picks it off. Heartlanders backhanded out to center ice. Taken by Utah as Semick, left wing pass. Did it connect? Hard to say, but action goes deep in the Heartlander zone. Iowa gets it. As Heartlanders, Robbie Stucker, guy wearing a college face mask as it goes to Raby. Raby left side near the boards. He's in the offensive zone. Near side, drops it off in the corner as Cutler left circle, takes a shot, and it's blocked before it gets to Jones. As over in the right corner, Cutler dances around, feeds it out in front, looking for Martell. He couldn't handle it. Iowa taps it off the near glass, and it goes all the way into the Grizzlies zone. Semick gets it with good speed. Iowa makes a line change about 9 minutes into the second period. Right wing pass, Grizz get it out towards the far side. Utah enters. Grizz rolled along the wall. Martell with a big hit behind Jones's net as Grizz get it to Raby. Raby and Cutler dance around with 2 Heartlanders in the near corner. It evades the corner. Now it goes back in it as Raby skates towards the point, gets up top. Lefty shot, and that one goes wide. Jones might have gotten a stick in it as Martell over towards Teixeira, who took Utah's last shot. He feeds it to the middle. Iowa picks it off as Grizz get it as Cutler fires it along the wall. Good defensive play by Jordan Martell to poke it away as Iowa was trying to carry it out of the zone. Heartlanders re-enter, far goal line. They stop, and they get it up top. Iowa, left point, lefty shot, and it's blocked away. Grizz get it as Cutler throws to the right side for Martell. Martell winds and fires. Shot saved by Jones. Heartlanders come back the other way as Iowa carries it in. Heartlanders towards the corner. Adam Goodsir, number 12. He'll be number 19 for most Iowa games. The puck goes back behind the end wall. Iowa surveys to get to the right side. Pass evades a stick as Messner battles with Louis Boudon. Now Utah enters the zone. Penner, left wing, righty shot, saved by Jones. Rebound goes to Iowa along the near goal line. They turn it over as Mayhew, left wing, fires lefty shot that's blocked. As Iowa, halfway through the contest, they lead 3-0 throughout the center ice. Mayhew pokes it away. Josh Wesley gathers it for Utah, but everybody stopped skating with 9:42 left in the second. As Wesley touched it up, I wonder if Utah got a penalty there. Either way, it looks like there's a timeout on the ice. 9:42 left in the second. Heartlanders lead the Grizzlies 3-0. Nobody has scored here so far in the second on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
3-0 Heartlanders. They lead over the Grizzlies. With all the internet issues I'm having, maybe I should just take the advice of Carissa Thompson and just make it up. Just make up a scenario of game action here. As we're halfway through the scheduled 60 minutes, Iowa outshot Utah 16-3 in the first period. Here in the second, Grizzlies have outshot Iowa 10-1. So a crazy swing in terms of who's been taking the shots. For the Grizz, Nathan Burke has 3 shots. Martell and Cutler each have 2. And then a few other Grizzlies have 1 shot each. For Iowa, Louis Boudon has 4 shots, including 1 goal. As Iowa scored goals 3 different ways. They scored shorthanded, which was Davis Kosh to get them on the board, 4:29 in. They scored 5-on-5. Will Calverley made it 2-0 first, second of the year, with Tufto getting the assist. And then on the power play, Louis Boudon scored 15:07 into the second period, or into the first period, with Davis Kosh and Landon Kosier getting the assist. So Kosh already with 1 goal and 1 assist for Iowa. As we're back to live action, Iowa in the offensive zone. They're along the near goal line. They try to chip it out in front. It bounced off of Teixeira, who clears it out. As I think Iowa might be on the power play. As Utah, as play stopped once, Wesley touched it up, and Dylan Fitz did get a cross-checking minor. So Iowa's on the power play. They skate in down the middle. Tufto gets it poked away. Iowa keeps it in left point. They feed it across, bouncing puck as it goes back to the high slot. Iowa, they've been good on the power play in this series, dropping off as Kosier throws to the left side. I think that's Kosh. He looks to center it as Iowa bobbles it. Grizzlies get it, and they clear it out. Less than 9 minutes left in the second period. Still 3-0 Heartlanders. Iowa's taking 1 shot here in the second period. As Iowa across the center, they skate down the middle. Now they enter the zone. They get it to the right side. Now up top to Kosier. Kosier skates towards the right side. Righty shot. Saved by Minor. Kosier gets it back. Right side. He feeds it to the left. I think that's Davis Kosh. Kosh in the corner. Throws it behind Utah's net. They chip it to the right side. Grizzlies poke it in the corner as Iowa tries to get back up top for Kosier. Goes past him and all the way deep towards Peyton Jones, who plays it behind his net. Jones, fourth-year pro out of Penn State, gets to Kevin McKernan, sporting a mustache. McKernan drops off and neutral ice. Iowa across the center. Heartlanders enter the zone from the left side. They get it across to Coughlin. Lefty shot, saved by Minor. Grizzlies trying to clear it out, and McLaughlin, well, he keeps it in right there. Make that McKernan right there in the left point. As Utah gets it, they skate towards center ice and dump it in. As we're late in the Iowa power play, not sure just how much time there is. There's not a number on the score bug. As Stapley gets double-teamed along the end wall of the Iowa zone. Heartlanders come back up with it as Stapley goes down. He wants a call, but none to be had as it goes to center ice near the bench area. Jocks moves it ahead. Iowa skates down the middle. Backhand shot goes wide as puck ends up on the left side. Semick around Utah's net. Grizz skate from right to left during the second period. He slides along the far wing boards all the way to center ice as Messner moves it ahead. Grizzlies right wing shot saved by Jones. A Heartlander goes down along the near boards, fits out of the penalty box. He joins the plays. We're back to 5-on-5 skating. As Teixeira across to Yoon. Yoon right point will feed it off the end wall as Messner gets hit. Fitz joins the play. As Fitz tried to center it out in front, it goes wide. As Utah, right point, gets up top to Yoon. One-timer, kick save by Jones. Probably the best save he's had to make all series. Yoon slides it ahead. Grizzlies re-enter. Cutler throws to the right side. Everybody stops skating as it looks like Utah's offside with 6:53 left in the second period. Neither team has scored so far in the second. Good penalty kill by the Grizzlies there as Dylan Fitz got a cross-checking minor. 10-19 into the second period. As draw's going to be at neutral ice after the Grizzlies were called for offside. Martel, Cutler's taking the draw, Raby to the left. Utah wins the faceoff. Teixeira and Yoon, who are both a +2 this season. They're the defensive pairing. As Yoon crosses the center ice left wing, he backhands it in. Iowa chases after it. Jones kind of tried to glide it towards the corner. It stays along the end wall as Utah feeds up top to Yoon, who slides it across to Teixeira. He takes a lefty shot, and it's blocked out in front of Jones. Grizzlies hack away. Martel shot, saved by Jones. Jones throws to the far corner. Martel battles. He collides with a Heartlander as Iowa. Ben Brinkman throws to the far side as Iowa, with Davis Koss surveying in the circle, action along the end wall. Grizzlies look for a shot, and it's blocked. Now Utah skates in. Shot saved by Jones. That was taken by Raby, who was in the right wing. As now Raby's on the left side as he surveys. Now he veers off towards the boards as he feeds it across off the screen. It goes wide. Martel to Cutler. Cutler dances around the far corner as he skates along the far goal line. Now he feeds up top. Martel, right side, makes a move around to Heartlander. I'll take a righty shot. And it looks like a little bit of post, a little bit of Jones, and goes wide. Iowa lifts out to center ice, and it goes into the Grizzlies zone as Mayhew will tap it off the far boards. It goes to Utah as Martel enters, gets the power. Power stops on the right point, feeds along the wall. It goes to Martel in the far corner. Grizz get it back up top. Wesley, right wing, righty shot is blocked out in front of Jones. Now to the left point. Action still in the Iowa zone, and it's back out to center ice. Grizzlies still in control. Wesley wraps it around the wall. Fits in the area as Utah throws up top to Mayhew. Across to Wesley. Now back to Fitz in the slot. Over to Wesley. Right side. Backhand shot. And it goes wide. Just too many bodies out in front of Jones. As Iowa will lift it out to center ice. Puck skips along the Xtream Arena ice as Mayhew near side moves it ahead. Iowa kicks it back in as Wesley gets it from Minor. Less than 5 minutes left in the second period. Nobody scored here in the middle frame as Iowa leads 3-0. All three of the goals coming in the first period as Wesley throws it to center ice. Pass looked like it didn't connect. Jones raises his arm, and so does the linesman as icing is on the Grizzlies with 4:44 left in the second. Referee tonight is Michael Zyla, Z-Y-L-A. The linesmen are John Watson and Greg Offerman. Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone, far circle. Looks like one of the best crowds that Iowa's had all year. Military Appreciation Night. As they'll have Hawkeyes and hockey tomorrow, as that's why the faceoff is pushed back an hour. Utah lifts it to center ice after winning the faceoff. Iowa throws it back in. Wesley around Utah's net. We'll get to Mayhew. Chips to the far side. As Utah lifts it out to center, it's gloved and dropped by Burke. 2-on-2. Burke skates towards the right circle. Gets around to Heartlander. Lefty shot. Saved by Jones. Great move by Burke, though, and he did everything but score a goal there. As Iowa, left side, gets hit by Burke. Burke's been everywhere in this second period. Now Burke delivers another hit in the corner. Deep in the Grizzlies zone, 2-on-2 battle in the corner. As Iowa chips it up top, somebody off the screen fires a shot, and it goes wide. Couldn't tell if Minor got a piece of it. Less than 4 minutes left in the second period. As left point, lefty shot saved by Minor. Grizzlies will clear it out. Iowa chases after it. It's going to be icing on Utah with 3:48. Make that 3:47 left in the second. Iowa's taken 3 shots in the second period. Grizz have 16. Boy, what a crazy turn of events in terms of the shot count. Grizz 3 shots in the first, 16 in the second. Iowa 16 shots in the first, only 4 in the second. Go figure. As Utah wins the draw, Corey Thomas, far side, with the long strides, left wing pass to Burke. Burke's been outstanding in the second period. He dumps it in, gets around to Heartlander. Burke gets the puck back. It looks like he's a man possessed. As Burke gets knocked down, he gets held up on 2 knees. Now he's back to his feet. 2-on-2 battle near corner. As Martel skates over there to join the play. Cutler dancing around. Burke's still in the area as the Grizzlies throw up from one corner to the other. It glides to the point. Grizzlies throw up back to the far corner. Skating over there, I believe, is Cutler. As Cutler gets double-teamed, Iowa took the puck away. They carry it out to center ice. Iowa chips it off the far wing boards. Teixeira in the area. Teixeira collides with the Heartlander. Now Yoon throws it to the left point. Iowa keeps it in. Heartlanders chip it back behind Utah's net. Now out in front. Shot saved by Minor. As Iowa, right side, taps it off the boards. Right wing, righty shot. And it goes wide. As Iowa back behind the net. As Teixeira pushes Iowa over in the back. Heartlanders try to get to Jocks out to the right circle. Utah picks it off. Grizz throw it to the right point. Iowa keeps it in. Righty shot is blocked by Cutler. Yoon pushes with Iowa. Now goes back to Teixeira, who moves it ahead. As Raby will bounce it off a Heartlander. It goes to center ice. Iowa drives it back in. 2.5 minutes left in the second. 3-0 Iowa. As Utah skates from right to left. Grizz lift it in the air. Bounces at center ice off a Grizzly. And that's Dylan Fitz, who's got an A on his sweater tonight. As Raby lifts it in. It's gloved at the near goal line by Iowa. As they'll start the attack from left to right with about 2 minutes left in the second. They slide it to the near side. Pass goes wide. Messner chips it towards Fitz. Fitz dancing around. He gets held up along the near wall. Fitz gets up top for Mayhew. It goes past him. Iowa gets the puck in their offensive zone. Right side. Mayhew cuts it off. Now it goes to the high slot. Recovering to pick it off is Messner. He slides it across. As the Grizz enter. Penner over towards Fitz. Fitz gets pushed in the far corner. As Iowa literally trying to kick it away. Is Landon Kozier in the area. It goes to Messner. Now to Penner. One-timer. And Jones makes a save, bobbles it towards the end wall. Iowa slides it to the near side. Mayhew keeps it in. Messner's over there as well. And Grizzlies will reset as they throw it back to Josh Wesley at the Utah blue line. He'll top it off the near boards and rolls towards Minor, who gathers it on its side over there in front of the crease as we stop play with 1:19 left in the second. Good action by the Grizzlies. They've done everything except for score a goal here in the second period. The unfortunate thing, otherwise for the Grizzlies, they haven't had a power play in this second. And obviously, with as good as the power play has been for Utah as of late, that might be the momentum changer that they need. But Iowa's 1 for 3 on the power play. Utah 0 for 1. The Grizz power play came 2:56 into the contest. As Utah wins the draw, Burke will tap it off an Iowa skate. Burke gets it back. He's been outstanding this second period. Burke backhands it towards the net. It goes wide as Iowa will carry it to neutral ice. Gallant in the area with great speed, but Utah gets it back. Grizz skate in right side as Gallant wraps it around the wall. Stapley skates to the near corner. He gets it. He gets challenged. Iowa took it away. Now Burke gathers it. He gets pushed in the back. Gallant throws to the near circle for Stapley, but Iowa takes it away. Heartlanders 2-on-3. They cross center ice and they backhand it in. As Teixeira skates towards the corner, he gets pushed by a Heartlander along the wall. Yoon over there as well, the Colorado College captain last year. As the puck goes to Stapley, who moves ahead to Burke. Burke try to get to Gallant, pass behind him as it ricochets off the far wall. Kozier moves it back in. Teixeira chases after it. And Trent Minor and the linesman agree the icing is on Iowa with 22 seconds left in the second. So it looks like barring a goal here in the final 22 seconds, it's going to be a 3-0 Iowa lead after 2 periods. Although I think Grizzlies fans have to really like the extra effort the Grizzlies gave here in the second period. As we mentioned, they've done everything except for get a power play and get a goal. As off the draw, Iowa wins it as they'll tap it off the far glass. At center ice, Mayhew moves it ahead. 15 seconds left. Raby skates down the middle with speed, veers off to the left. Now he enters the zone, but Iowa pokes it back to center ice. Heartlander skate in right side. Derflinger right wing. Shot saved by Minor. 2 seconds left in the period. As the Grizz cross center, Cutler with a shot. Jones makes a save, and that will do it for 40 minutes over at Xtream Arena, as Derflinger had a pretty good look for Iowa there at the end of the second period, and Miner made the save. Grizz just didn't have enough time to skate back to respond. So neither team scored in the second period after Iowa took a 3-0 lead after one. Shot count pretty crazy, I would say. The Grizzlies had 16 shots in the second period. That shot Cutler took could have been the 17th of the period. Iowa ended up with 6. So the Heartlanders looks like maybe 7, as they had that shot there at the end of the second period. So it looks like 7. Iowa's up to 23 shots, Grizzlies with 19. Pretty good effort by the Grizzlies in that second period, and in particular Nathan Burke. But unfortunately, neither team scored, as Grizzlies, the ECHL affiliate of the Colorado Avalanche, take on the Minnesota Wild ECHL affiliate, the Iowa Heartlanders. Through 2 periods, it's Iowa 3, Utah nothing. We'll statistically go over the first 2 periods and also give you some scores from around the league and talk some hockey as well. Second intermission over at Xtream Arena, as I'm hanging out in the lobby at Maverick Center. The score, Iowa 3, Utah nothing on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Second intermission over at Xtream Arena. Iowa leads 3-0. It's the middle game of a 3-game set. On Wednesday morning, Iowa won 3-2, and the difference was the special teams, as Iowa scored a late second period goal to tie things up 2-2. That was scored by Davis Kosh, and then Liam Coughlin. 5:27 into the third period gave Iowa a 3-2 lead, and it held on as the Heartlanders won the first game of this set. Iowa's won 4 in a row, and they're looking to make it 5 in a row, and they lead 3-0 with all 3 goals coming in the first period. It was Davis Kosh scoring unassisted. It was shorthanded, 4:29 into the first, as he just took the puck away from a Grizzly over at the Utah blue line, just kind of skated down the middle after that and went to his right. And normally when you see a guy go for the backhand shot, as we've seen a lot this year, they usually go high, but he went low this time and snuck it through Trent Miner for a 1-0 Iowa lead. That was 4:29 into the first. Later on a 5-on-5 situation, Iowa, and unfortunately my screen was glitching big time at that point, but Tufto was on the right side from what I saw, and then got it to Calverley. Calverley was pretty close to the net, fired it past Trent Miner, and he ended up falling down. He ended up tripping right after he took the shot, but it went past the goal line to make it 2-0 as Calverley scored 13:40 in for his second of the year. Interesting enough for Odin Tufto, he leads the Heartlanders in points with 10 this season. However, none of them have been goals. He just has 10 assists this year. The Heartlanders led 2-0 at that point, and then they got on a power play after Dean Yakura got an interference minor, 14:46 in, and very early in the power play, it was Louis Boudon scoring his second of the year, Kosh and Kozier with the assists. And it was just a very surprising first period. I mean, obviously I was watching about every 5 seconds with with the slow frames, but just felt like the puck from what I saw was in the Grizzly zone the whole period. And I got to imagine, it's one of those first intermission, you like that proverbial fly on the wall. I don't even think you have to be a fly on the wall. You could probably be on the other side of the building in Xtream Arena and probably hear what was going on in the Grizzlies locker room, because, that's a team that's got a lot of pride. But obviously the first period was just all Heartlanders. And, the Grizzlies had to find a way to respond in the second period, and Utah really did everything except for get a power play and get a goal. Utah outshot Iowa 16-7 in the second period, and really the margin was, it felt like further than that. Iowa had a few shots there towards the end of the second period to kind of even up a little bit of the shot count as much as they could. The only penalty in the second period, Dylan Fitz got a cross-checking minor, 10-19 in, and the Grizz did a good job on the penalty kill. But, it's just unfortunately just couldn't get one past Peyton Jones, who made a couple outstanding kick saves. Nathan Burke and Jordan Martell led Utah with 4 shots, and Burke on at least 2 occasions made some outstanding moves to kind of create a scoring chance out of nothing. Burke's a guy that has the ability to put the puck in the back of the net. He's already got 4 this season, which is tied for the Grizz lead with Brandon Cutler. But they just haven't found a way to break through and get past Peyton Jones. They're facing a hot Iowa club. I mean, Iowa has won 4 in a row, and they're obviously looking to make it 5 in a row. And, a team that's got a lead like that, they're going to do what they could to, I guess, try to slow things down, try to slow down the pace and maybe play a defense first game. If you're a Grizzlies fan, you had to love the effort there in the second period. Like we said, they did everything except for get a power play and get a goal. We mentioned getting a power play because that's really been the strongest point of the Grizzlies' attack so far this season. Utah is tied for second in the league on the power play coming into play tonight at 25%. Utah is 4 for 8 over their last 3 games on the power play. Utah just hasn't had many power plays this season. You think about it, through 8 games, Utah only 24 power plays, an average of just 3 per contest. But to the Grizzlies' credit, they have not taken many penalties. In fact, the 3 penalties the Grizzlies have here are about as much as they've had all season. They've only committed, coming into play tonight in 8 games, 21 penalties, a little bit under than 3 per game. So obviously the Grizzlies have been playing a pretty disciplined game. I'm not entirely sure how that contributes to winning. You like to play disciplined. You like to stay out of the penalty box if you can. Although it's kind of odd when you look at some of the teams that have some of the best records in the league year in and year out. Some of them are towards the top in penalty minutes. Sometimes you get them 5 and 10 at a time. The Grizzlies had quite a few misconducts and things like that, with guys like Andrew Nilsson and Johnny Walker. And, but for the most part, it's almost that balance. You almost want to be on the threshold of committing penalties because that maybe is an indication that you're playing hard. If you're playing hard every now and then, you're going to hold somebody or you're going to interfere, things like that. But the Grizzlies have done a good job staying out of the penalty box. Special teams has played a little bit of a factor. I mean, Utah's 1 power play. Iowa did score shorthanded. That's the second shorthanded goal allowed by the Grizzlies this season. Iowa 1 for 3 on the power play. Special teams has played a factor because, as we mentioned, Iowa has scored 3 different ways this way. They scored shorthanded, scored on the power play, and they also scored 5-on-5. So we'll see if the Grizzlies can make a comeback, because right now it's looking like the Peyton Jones revenge weekend. He has stopped all 19 he has seen. He's been a little bit more busy than he was on Wednesday, where he stopped 20 of 22. For the Grizzlies, Trent Miner has saved 20 of 23. Some other games in the league tonight. It looks like a pretty much packed house in the league this evening. Kansas City and Tulsa played last night. I don't think Kansas City's playing today. They've got the best record in the Mountain Division at 11-2. Other Mountain Division games, looks like Allen and Idaho are going to get underway in about a minute or so over at Idaho Central Arena. Steelheads are 9-2. Allen is just 3-8. And the Americans made a couple moves today, adding defensemen to their lineup as the Americans are looking to find a way to climb back. But remember, Allen did struggle at the start of last season as well. 13 minutes left in the second period. Wichita leads Rapid City 3-0 as Mikael Stenell, Peter Bates, and Miller, Aaron Miller, have the Wichita goals, and a goalie that wasn't even on the roster for Wichita when they played the Grizzlies last week. McAnemy is in net for Wichita. He wasn't even on the roster, as we mentioned. He has stopped all 9 for the Thunder, and the game's over at Intrust Bank Arena. Wichita leads Rapid City 3-0. It's also a 3-0 score late in the second period. Toledo over Kalamazoo. It's also 3-0. Second intermission, Savannah leading South Carolina. Savannah 3-6-0-1 this season. South Carolina is 4-4-2. Second intermission, Florida leads Atlanta 4-2. Halfway through the third period, Cincinnati has a 4-2 lead over Worcester. Grizzlies will play Cincinnati once this season on Wednesday, December 13th, over in what's called the Queen City, I think, in Cincinnati. And that was one of my favorite places to visit. Grizzlies did play a game over there a few years ago. I think it was the 2019-2020 season, or it may have been the year before that. But I remember Cincinnati just being such a fun place. I think it was the 2018-2019 season. Game ended up going to a shootout. I remember Tim McGauley scored a big goal. Joe Canada was in net. He was outstanding for Utah that evening. But what was fun about that place is you had the arena, and it's kind of an old arena that hasn't necessarily been kept up all that well. But the arena is right next to Great American Ballpark, where the Cincinnati Reds play, and about 2 blocks away from that is where the Cincinnati Bengals play. And obviously it's a tough sports scene over in Cincinnati now that Joe Burrow has been ruled out for the rest of the season. You can pretty much call Joe Burrow the franchise over there, as the Bengals really struggled to win before he got there. And when he's not in the lineup, Cincinnati can struggle because he just makes that big of a difference to their lineup. So Joe Burrow out for the rest of the season for the Cincinnati Bengals. Grizzlies will be over there next month. I will not use the phrase "we're on to Cincinnati" post-game show of December 9th, which will be Teddy Bear Toss and the Ugly Sweater Night when the Grizzlies take on Allen. I'll try my best to not use that line. But Cincinnati leads 4-2, 12 minutes left in the third. Halfway through the third period, Adirondack leads Norfolk 3-2. Tied at 2, Maine and Trois Rivières with 3 minutes into the third period, so 17 minutes left. Reading has a 2-1 lead over Newfoundland. And we'll be talking about Newfoundland a little bit tomorrow. That's going to be a big 3-game series at Maverick Center on Thanksgiving week, as the Grizzlies' next home game is going to be a Bud Light College night on Wednesday, November 22nd. And Indy has a 3-1 lead over Wheeling, that game with 12 and a half minutes left in the third. Wheeling's off to a good start this year. They are 6-3, while Indy is 2-5-1. And the Wheeling Nailers are going to be at Maverick Center later on in the regular season. It's going to be, I think, President's Day week, Friday, February 16th, and then Saturday, the 17th of February, and then Monday, February 19th, will be a 3:10 start. So that'll be fun. I don't think the Wheeling Nailers have ever been to Maverick Center. That should be a lot of fun. Their broadcaster, DJ, usually travels with them. And DJ, when I saw him at the league meetings last year, was certainly looking forward to seeing what the Salt Lake Valley is all about. And we're looking forward to having them halfway through the regular season. Over at Xtream Arena, Iowa still leads 3-0 as we're hanging out in the Grizzlies lobby. We got the championship trophies over there just off the screen. You can see the Turner Cups right over my laptop that I'm watching the game on, as Grizzlies were back-to-back Turner Cup champions the first 2 years of their existence. Back when they were the Denver Grizzlies, they won the Turner Cup in 1995 in the old IHL. And then the first year in the Salt Lake Valley, they won it again. And that was in 1996. They won in 4 games, a 4-game sweep over the Orlando Solar Bears, who are also a current member of this league. Butch Goring was the head coach at the time, and Butch was certainly one of those guys I always remember on Fox 13. He was always on Sunday nights, the Sunday sports page. He'd have one of those 90s themed starter jackets, and he would talk Grizzlies hockey, and that was certainly a big deal at the time. And so, it'd be kind of fun if we can get Butch Goring back to Maverick Center, because you talk about the great players, the great coaches in Grizzlies history. Butch Goring was right there at the top of the list. Not only did he have a distinguished playing career, but obviously when you think about Grizzlies hockey, especially at that point when the Grizzlies were winning championships and contending for championships in years after winning the back-to-back Turner Cups, I mean, Butch Goring is probably the first name you think of. Him and guys like Gord Dineen, Mick Vukota, And Mick Vukota had an outstanding interview. He was on the Spit and Chicklets podcast a little less than a month ago, and just an outstanding interview. He had some great stories. In fact, he even had a story about how he joined the Grizzlies initially. You know, he'd been playing for the Islanders for about a decade, trashed a hotel room, and before you knew it, bam, he went to Utah. You know, he was sent to the minors. So some fun stories there. Hopefully a fun story from Grizzlies fans' perspective will be a third period comeback as they're trailed by 3. But, you know, the Grizzlies were ultra aggressive there in the second period. And it seems like game in and game out, we're talking about guys like Brett Stapley and Nathan Burke, just because those guys always seem to be producing. You know, Burke started his college career at the University of Minnesota. He was a Gopher for 3 years and then transferred after the 2020-21 season to Bowling Green. And he had 2 outstanding offensive years at Bowling Green. 2 years ago, in the 2021-22 season, he had 16 goals and 7 assists. Last year, and in his fifth season in college, he had 17 goals and 12 assists in 36 games. So Nathan Burke's been outstanding for Utah. His hometown is Scottsdale, Arizona, born on December 21st of 1998. So he'll be 25 years old next month, and he certainly had an extra bounce to his step for the Grizzlies there in the second period. We'll see if he'll carry over into the third. Grizzlies have only had 1 power play, and that was early in the first period. We'll see if they'll get on the man advantage here a couple times in the third. And sometimes, you know, you get power plays just by playing hard, utilizing your speed, and the other team really has no choice but to trip you or do other things. And let's see if the Grizzlies' effort can get them some power plays here in the third period as they try to climb back into this one. After 2 periods, it's Iowa 3, Utah nothing. When we come back in 2 minutes, we'll have third period action over at Xtream Arena as we're hanging out in the lobby at Maverick Center. Iowa leads 3-0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
We're about set to start the third period over at Xtream Arena in Coralville, Iowa, as the Heartlanders lead the Grizzlies 3-0. Don't forget, tomorrow night's game is going to have a different start time. 6:05 is going to be the start. I think it was originally scheduled for 5:05 Mountain Time, but the Iowa Hawkeyes have a football game. And because they have a football game, I guess a lot of the people that work in the building are the same people that work Iowa football games, and so they can't have games at about the same time. So I guess they're going to call it Hawkeyes and hockey over tomorrow night over in Iowa, as they'll have the Iowa Hawkeyes taking on Illinois, and then they'll play at 7:05 locally over in Iowa. It's going to be a 6:05 Mountain Time Zone start. Pre-game coverage will be at 5:50 as we'll be up in the what we call the Grizz Cave, which is where I was on Wednesday, trying to describe the action. Hopefully we'll have good internet, knock on wood, here for the third period, as the first period, unfortunately, was pretty undescribable. We'll just see if the Grizzlies can have a comeback in them. Remember, the Grizzlies did come back there against Wichita last Friday, overcoming a 4-1 deficit. Today it's 3-0. Utah will be skating from left to right as we see it from Flow Sports. Your mind's eye see it on YouTube. Iowa in the specialty jerseys, a green jersey with red, white, and blue numbers, are skating from right to left as it's Military Appreciation Night over in Iowa. Tyler Penner will take the draw, and it's won by Iowa. Cole Gallant out there, as it looks like Utah's adjusted their forward lines as Gallant's out there with Messner and Penner. Iowa wins the draw. They dump it in. Grizz get it back out. Gallant, left wing pass to Messner, connects. Messner gets to the point, fires a lefty shot that goes wide as Grizz. Gallant right side, his shot's blocked as he's carrying it in as Iowa. 1-on-2. Heartlanders dropping off left circle. Lefty shot goes wide as the puck glides along the far boards. As the Heartlanders over in the right circle feed it to the left. Lefty shot is blocked by Gallant as the Heartlanders over in the near corner get pushed by Brian Hume. as Gallant over there as well. It looks like he switched spots with Dylan Fitz on a forward line as Iowa pokes it back to center ice. Tufto resets as he'll feed it to the right side. Iowa skates back in as they skate towards the corner. Mayhew with a hit behind the goal line as Iowa feeds up top to the right side. They'll take a righty shot that goes wide off the end boards near goal line. Shot saved by Miner as Nathan Burke couldn't get the bouncing puck. It rolls towards the far side. Grizz get it, and they move it out to Stapley at center ice. Stapley left wing dumps it in as Nathan Burke delivers a hit in the corner as Hunter Lelig over there, the big defenseman, number 5. Lelig goes 6'2", 194 pounds. 3 Grizzlies and 3 Heartlanders hacking away in the far corner as Burke comes out of the pile with a puck. He skates towards the right wing. Lefty shot, saved by Jones. Iowa clears it out to center. Mayhew taps off the far wing boards, goes back towards Jones. It hits off the end wall as Iowa resets. They spread the ice. 18:20 and counting left in the third. As Iowa chips out to center ice and the puck goes out of play as it ended up in the bench area. 18:15 left in the third. The bench areas, as we see it on Flow Sports, are on the near side of the ice. It's not a very big arena. Xtream Arena holds just under 5,000. It looks like the faceoff's going to be back in the Heartlanders zone. Make sure to follow the Grizzlies on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. I'm on Twitter. I'm on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, at Tyson on Sports. Fitz will take the draws out there with Raby and Cutler. As looks like Martell switched to a different line as well. As Ryan Kanasowicz trying to find the right combinations. Iowa around their net. Will feed it out to center ice. Goes back over to Semick. Semick over to Cutler, who's in the Grizzlies zone. Cutler back to Semick, who skates down the middle. He gets across center ice, right wing pass to Fitz. Fitz with a righty shot. And it goes wide. Jones might have gotten a piece of it as Grizzlies over in the far corner lose it. Iowa taps it off the near wall as the Heartlanders wear similar colors to the Hawkeyes most nights. As 2-on-2 battle along the wall. Iowa comes out of the pile with the puck. Heartlanders have done a good job winning those battles and 50-50 pucks. As it goes to center ice, Iowa backhands it in as Thomas chases after it. Miner lets it go as Thomas moves it ahead as Grizz down 3 trying to make a comeback. They throw it to the far side. Puck stays in play. Grizzlies have to reset. Thomas near side. Diagonal pass to center ice connects. Grizz dump it in as Burke chases after it. He gets towards the corner. Yakura over there on the right side. Yakura couldn't get the bouncing puck towards the corner. As you know, gloves it in the right side. As Iowa pokes it back to center ice. Grizz in control as Burke skates down the middle. Now he chips over to the far side. And the puck ends up back in the Grizzlies zone as Iowa just doing a good job with deflections as Utah moves it ahead. And no icing as Jones behind his net. We'll wrap it around the near boards. About 3.5 minutes into the third period, still 3-0 Iowa. As Iowa, right wing, wraps it around the wall. As Penner over there with Messner. As Grizzlies kick it ahead. Cole Gallant with great speed. Crosses center ice, right wing. He'll skate to the right circle, take a righty shot. Saved by Jones. As Gallant skates back to the corner, that's where the puck is. Far side, Messner slides it across to Mayhew. Mayhew gets tripped up on the right side, no call. As Iowa pitches it out to center ice. Grizz have only had 1 power play tonight. As Iowa back in their own end, throw it to the blue line. Heartlanders cross center. As they'll chip it towards Miner. Miner gloves it about shoulder high, and Iowa skating towards him. Miner just holds on to it. 16:06 left in the third. It's the Heartlanders will have an offensive zone draw. Looks like the Grizz so far have taken 2 shots in the third period. Iowa's taken 1. The shot count could be important here, and really it's not the quantity. You're kind of looking for that quality of shot, but it looks like Peyton Jones is playing pretty well for Iowa. Stapley will take the draw against Louis Boudon. Face-off won by Utah as Semick moves it ahead, trying to get Burke, but Iowa picked it off. They throw it off the Utah backboards as Thomas and Semick battle with a couple Heartlanders as Iowa right point keeps it in. Righty shot saved by Miner. Rebound goes to the near wall. Grizzlies thrown out to center. They couldn't get it, but the looks like the puck ended up out of play. 15:46 left in the third. Grizzlies probably wanted offside there as the arm is raised by the referee at center ice. Couldn't tell. I don't think there was a penalty. That might have just been draw's going to be Grizzlies territory, neutral ice. The puck just might have deflected out of play. Stapley will take the face off. He's got Martell to his right. and Burke to his left. So it looks like Martell is now on that line with Stapley and Burke as Grizz dump it in, or Heartlanders dump it in. Grizz get it back. Stapley crosses center ice, right wing, and he'll chip it in. Stapley chases after it as Iowa gets hit by Burke over on the right side. Burke looks like he's a man possessed over there the last couple periods. As he's playing hard, Grizz throw it to the right side off the end wall as Iowa gathers it. They've got a 3-goal lead to the Heartlanders as they'll flip it out to center ice and dump it in as Yoon chases after it. Far side, he gets to Cutler. Cutler gets held up on one knee as Utah moves it ahead, skating from left to right. Teixeira across the center. Right wing pass to Fitz. Fitz skates along the wall, but Iowa poked it away near the line as everybody stopped skating. And I think the linesman called Utah for offside. Good job by Iowa just messing up the timing just enough as the Grizzlies were entering the offensive zone with momentum. Utah got called for offsides. Fitz is out there with Raby and Cutler. Cutler taking the face-off against Liam Coughlin, the former Worcester Railer. As Iowa wins the draw, they move it out to center ice and dump it in. Minor as a watch off the backboard. Icing is on Iowa as we'll skate back towards Peyton Jones for the face-off. 14:57 left in the third. Peyton getting some water. His brother Nolan Jones had a breakthrough season with the Colorado Rockies last year. I think I saw Nolan Jones in person at Coors Field, hit a home run against the Yankees in the 8th inning. Looks like Nolan Jones quite the prospect. He's got a great skill set. Cutler wins the faceoff against Coughlin as Teixeira will bounce it off the end wall as Fitz battles. Iowa clears it out. Teixeira throws it back in, delayed offside as Iowa gets the puck. They lift it high into the air as it bounces towards the center ice logo. Yoon gathers it. He backhands it in as Fitz chases after it. Iowa gets there first. They'll tap it off the far boards. Raby pokes it away. It goes towards the slot, but Iowa carries it out of the zone. They move it out to center as Iowa lifts it to the right wing. Heartlander ski to the right circle. Righty shot goes wide. Puck glides along the near wing boards. It stays in play. Center ice. Iowa backs it up to their blue line. Now they move it ahead. Grizz look to poke it away. Penner in the area as Penner throws it back to a Grizzlies defenseman. Utah ahead to the right wing for Fitz. It goes past him. As Penner chases after it deep in the Heartlanders zone, but Iowa gets there first. Numbers are pretty tough to spot here as Iowa dumps it in. It's going to be icing as Josh Wesley skates over there. And even 14 minutes left in the third as Utah will have another offensive zone draw. Second of a 3-game set. Don't forget tomorrow night's going to be a different start time. 6:05 is going to be the face-off time in the Mountain Time Zone. 7:05 locally in Iowa. 5:50 pregame show. Don't forget the Grizzlies will be home next week against the Newfoundland Growlers for a 3-game set. Next Grizzlies home game will be on Wednesday, November 22nd for a Bud Light College night. Draws in the near circle. It's won by Iowa. They throw it along the wall around Jones's net as Iowa chips it out to center. Messner picks it off at center ice. He gets to the Utah blue line. Diagonal pass towards Gallant. Gallant skates towards the corner with great speed. He gets it. He gets bounced along the boards by Kozier. Utah feeds it out in front. Messner couldn't reach it as Iowa lifts it in the air as the puck kicks to the Utah blue line. Grizz, Mayhew backhands it out to center ice. It goes into the Heartlanders zone. Jones lets it roll along the far wall. Grizz behind the net. Will skate towards the left circle. Utah's in the offensive zone as Mayhew to the left point. He skates towards his right, backhands it towards the net, and it gets blocked about 10 feet in front of Jones. Iowa clears it back to center. Heartlanders cross center ice. Gallant with a big hit as Iowa dumps it in. As Semick gets it at the near goal line. Now he's behind Miner's net. About 7 minutes into the third period. Still 3-0 Iowa. As Semick throws it to the far side. Grizz move it ahead. Power chases after it as Utah dumped it in. As Power delivers a hit on Robbie Stucker, number 2. Stucker in his first game of the year for Iowa. As puck rolls along the near boards, back to center ice. Teixeira over to Yoon as Utah resets. Left wing pass off the far wing boards. Jones raises his arm, no icing. Yakura drops up in front for Cutler. Shot saved by Jones as he got a piece of it. As far side, Grizz, they're in the offensive zone, skating from left to right. As Utah, Yakura, high slot, righty shot is blocked as Iowa taps off the near boards. Yakura chases after it. As icing waved off, Yakura gets the puck behind Utah's net. He'll throw it to the far side as goes to the Iowa blue line. Heartlanders gather it. Both teams make a line change. Iowa dumps to the left corner and chases after it. Grizz trying to poke it out, but it stays in. Mayhew was in the area. Teixeira in the corner with the puck near side It's Teixeira. Backhands it past Mayhew. It goes back to Iowa. Heartlanders, 8 minutes into the third period, move it ahead. Right wing, they dump it in as they skate towards the right circle. Iowa centers it. Lefty shot. Saved by Minor. And Trent holds on as Iowa had a wide open look as the centering pass connected. And Jones was able to make the stop with 11:54 left in the third. Couldn't tell who took the shot. I think it might have been Liam Coughlin. Iowa 3, Utah nothing. 11:54 left in the third. We're back in 30 seconds. After this word from Infinity 56.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
11:54 left in the third period. It's a battle of teams of 500 records. Iowa 4-4-2 this season. Utah 4-4. Heartlanders have won 4 in a row, and they look to make it 5 in a row. They got a 3-goal lead. Utah, this is their second road game. They're 0-1 on the road. They were 4-3 on the first homestand to start the regular season. Neither team has scored after the first period. All 3 of Iowa's goals were scored in the first 15 minutes and 7 seconds of action. We haven't had a single penalty called here in the third period so far, as Utah's only had 1 power play. Iowa wins the draw, right point. They'll roll it along the wall. It gets cut off behind Utah's net. Heartlanders get tripped up along the far corner. No calls. The referee's letting them play tonight. Iowa fires towards the net. It gets redirected. Minor gloves it about shoulder high as he holds on with 11:38 left in the third. Referee tonight is Michael Zyla. The linesmen are John Watson and Greg Offerman. Minor looking at his stick. He's really settled in after the first period and played well. Looks like a good Friday night crowd. Military Appreciation Night. As fans pound the glass, looks like they're having a good time. As Iowa wins the draw, Grizzlies will then clear it out to center. Iowa dumps it back in. Minor behind his net, throws to the far side as Utah spreads the ice looking for their first goal of the game. Utah moves it ahead. Cutler towards center ice, gets to Fitz at the Iowa blue line. Fitz dumps it in as Iowa gets the puck. Fitz delivers a hit as he knocks down a Heartlander. Iowa comes up with the puck because they'll carry it out to center ice. As the puck glides back in the Grizzlies zone, Iowa gets it. They look to center it. Instead, take a shot, saved by Minor as Raby crosses center ice. He enters the zone, gets it to Cutler on the right side. Cutler shot, save, rebound shot, saved by Jones again as Fitz to the far side, one-on-one battle. Iowa lifts it to the point. Grizzlies get tripped up, no call. That was Corey Thomas that went down. Raby throws to the corner. Utah gets held up along the wall. Cutler takes the puck. He looks to center to Raby. Pass goes wide. Now left wing, lefty shot is blocked as Davis Kosh gets the puck, and he'll survey as both teams spread the ice. Kosh throws it deeper into the Heartlander zone for a defenseman and comes off for a change. 10:25 and counting left in the third. 3-0 Iowa. As the Heartlanders get to neutralize, Grizz at center. Penner backhands it ahead to Gallant. Gallant over to Messner, who dumps it in from the point. As Utah gets hit behind Jones's net, and it's Tyler Penner. Penner feeds it up top, left point. Lefty shot is blocked. A lot of blocked shots for Iowa tonight. As the Heartlanders carry it in, left side, as Jesse Jock's backhand shot goes wide. He'll chase after it. As Jacob Semick with the puck. He'll feed it across to somebody off the screen. Now ahead to Gallant at center ice right wing. Gallant gets around to Heartlanders. He dumps it to the corner, chases after it. As Utah try to get it back towards Gallant as he's out in front of the net. Utah skates around Jones's net. They're now to the far side. Grizz lose their balance as Utah literally kicks it towards the corner. Iowa continues to hold up Utah along the wall. As around Iowa's net, Grizz to the right wing gets spun around. And the Heartlanders, 9.5 minutes left in the third period, get it back. They throw it along the near wall. It goes out of the zone to center ice As Martell crosses center, he skates down the middle. He gets held up. Martell skates towards the right circle, drops it off. As Stapley throws to the left side. As the Grizz, Teixeira skates towards the corner and wraps it around the wall. It's towards the right corner as the puck kind of slowly glided along the wall. As Iowa back to the far side, as time is just running short on Utah here with 9 minutes left in the third. Iowa leads 3-0. Yoon, left wing pass, Grizzlies re-enter as Teixeira stops along the boards. Teixeira will feed it to the far corner. Grizz look to center it out in front. Raby couldn't reach it. Yoon over in the high slot, danced around. He's now to the right point. He gets to Raby, who has a glance off his stick. Now near goal line, Stapley over towards Burke. Now Stapley gets it, slot righty shot goes wide. Martell in the area. He skates towards the corner. He gets hit as Raby gets held up behind Iowa's net. Now he breaks free. Right wing, lefty shot, saved by Jones. Martell gets it back to Raby, who skates towards his left. Raby falls down. Grizzlies get it back towards Martell. It's going to be a delayed penalty. Martell fires it off. A Heartlander gets it back. Slot, Martell, righty shot, save. Rebound shot, saved by Jones. Boy, Stapley had the second look after Martell fired away. Penalty is going to be called as Dakota Raby got tripped up in the slot. 8 minutes, 12 seconds left in the third period. And so Utah is going to get their second power play of the evening. Iowa argues the case, but it looked like a pretty easy call. Boy, Martell had a good look there in the slot, and then it looked like Stapley had a second chance, and somehow Jones was able to make the stop. 8 minutes, 12 seconds left in the third. It's Iowa 3, Utah 0. We're back in 30 seconds after this word from Rio Tinto.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
8 minutes, 12 seconds left in the third. Utah is going to be on the power play. I couldn't quite tell who it was. Iowa's wearing an interesting specialty jersey, but the numbers are just pretty tough to spot. So unfortunately, we're unable to identify as many Iowa players specifically as we'd like to. This can be a big power play for Utah. Remember, 4 for 8 coming into play tonight over the last 3 games. Utah is tied for second in the league on the power play with 25%, tied with Toledo for that mark. Utah wins the draw. Stapley right side gets it poked away. It goes towards the near wall. Iowa gets it, and they'll lift it over Josh Wesley and out of the zone. As deep in Utah's end, Trent Miner behind his net will give way to Josh Wesley, who throws it behind his back. Wesley gets the puck as Iowa took it away from him in the far corner. Wesley recovers as it goes to Stapley. Stapley back to Wesley as Wesley with a diagonal pass, left wing to center ice, connects. Grizzlies trying to chip it ahead to Martell. It goes wide as Iowa gathers it as they're back in their own zone. Just killing some time as they've got 3 guys over on their own end spreading the ice. Iowa couldn't clear it out. Now they do to center ice as the puck bounces in the slot. Now Iowa sails it hard. It bounced off a Grizzly as Utah throws it in as Iowa gets it back. Now turnover. Grizz looked to center it, and the Heartlanders broke it up, got it, and cleared it out. 7:07 left in the third. Mayhew throws to the left side. Grizzlies enter. Utah drops it off for Burke. Burke over to the left side, gets up top for Mayhew. Mayhew slides to his right for Teixeira. Teixeira feeds up top. It bounced off a body. Raby slot shot is blocked. Puck goes to the left side. Grizz tap it to Teixeira. He's along the near boards. Grizz skate from left to right here in the period. As Iowa gets it sticking away, now they gather it and clear it out. Miner skates all the way to the far corner, cuts it off before it got to the corner and the restricted area as Utah continues their attack. 6.5 minutes left in the third here late in the power play. Teixeira ahead. Now back to Teixeira right wing. He skates towards the circle. Teixeira looking for a backhand shot. Iowa gets a stick in the way. Teixeira gets it back up top for Raby, who drops it off left side as Mayhew. 3 goals this season over to Teixeira on the right side. Teixeira, shot saved by Jones. Raby hacking away. Puck still loose. Burke in the area. Gallant as Iowa feeds it back to the corner. As Iowa doing a great job boxing out Utah in front of the crease. Late in the power play, 6 minutes left in the third. Burke dances around. He feeds it up top for Mayhew. Across to Teixeira. He'll take a left wing shot and it goes wide. 5:53 left in the third, as Iowa still leads 3-0. I think we might be back to 5-on-5 skating there. Utah 0 for 2 on the power play. Jake Derflinger got the tripping minor 11:48 in, so I do think that we're back to 5-on-5 as the Grizz are 0 for 2 on the power play. Iowa 1 for 3. Some near misses for the Grizzlies here as Iowa just dominated the first period, and unfortunately from the Grizzlies' perspective, they haven't found a way to respond. 3-0 Iowa. We're back to find out how this one ends in 30 seconds after this word from America First Credit Union.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
It's a Heartlanders 3, Grizzlies 0. Iowa scored 3 different ways in the first period. Davis Koss shorthanded, 4:29 in. Will Calverley got a 5-on-5 goal, 13:40 into the first, with Tufto getting an assist. Then on the power play, Louis Boudon scored his second of the year with Koss and Kozier getting the assists. Davis Koss, 1 goal, 1 assist tonight, as the Heartlanders haven't scored since, but unfortunately from the Grizzlies' perspective, they haven't scored either. We'll see if Utah can get on the board. Draw's going to be in the Iowa zone far circle. Back to 5-on-5 skating. Iowa in their specialty jersey wins the draw. They throw it towards the far wing boards. As Utah over in the corner, dancing around as they get pushed. As the Grizz over there, kind of tough to spot who's who. Power rolls it along the wall as Utah chases after it. Iowa clears it out. It goes deep in the Grizzly zone. Icing is on Iowa. 5:31 left in the third. Good job by Corey Thomas skating over there to make sure the icing got called. As Utah will make a change, they'll get Cutler, Fitz, and Raby on the ice as Jordan Martell switched. It looked like Ryan Knast switched up the forward lines, and Martell's now on a different line as Cutler, Raby, and Fitz are on the ice. Fitz has been playing good hockey as of late. 3 goals and 2 assists, 3 goals in the last 2 games, and he's played well tonight. Utah gets it as Raby over in the far corner, deep in the offensive zone as he gets pushed by Stucker. Stucker and Raby hold each other as Raby gets double-teamed in the corner. Raby gets held up by McKernan as Cutler around the net. Cutler now to the right side as he dances around in the corner. Cutler back behind Iowa's net, trying to get to Raby. Pass goes wide. Mayhew, left point, fires towards the net, and Jones makes a save. Iowa pushes it ahead. No icing as it got redirected at neutral ice. As deep in the Grizzly zone, Iowa delivers a push as Wesley slides it along the near side. It goes back to Iowa as the Heartlanders cross center, and they button hook back in the offensive zone right side as they dump it in. Boy, Iowa looks like they've got good team speed. Heartlanders center it. Lefty shot. Saved by Minor as he holds on as we get a whistle with 4:43 left in the third. Boy, good passing by the Heartlanders. Let's see if it's that Jocks or is that Campoli. I think it was Campoli who centered it over to Goodsir. Goodsir was the one that took that shot with 4:43 left in the third. Utah has outshot Iowa up 29-27, including a 10-4 edge in the third period. Utah wins the draw. Martell carries it across center ice and dumps it in as Utah double teams Iowa in the corner as the Grizz now back behind their net as Iowa right side, Yoon in the area as Utah looking for that first goal. Grizz get double teamed. Now Martell looks to center it. Steed in the corner. Martell gets held up. Stapley skates over there. Martell in the area. 2-on-2 battle along the near boards. Iowa gets it, and they feed it from one corner to the other as everybody skates over there. Iowa tries to clear it out as Yoon extends the stick to try to keep it in. As looks like we get a whistle, and it looks like the Grizzlies unable to keep it in. 4:06 left in the third. Iowa might have been called for icing there. Utah's net is empty. Well, it looked like Minor was just getting a stick. He skated back towards his crease there for a second, and who knows, maybe the Grizz had an empty net there, and we didn't know about it, as we couldn't see whether Utah's net. We couldn't see Utah's net. Cutler will take the draw. Far side, neutral ice, Iowa territory. as draw goes deep into the Iowa zone. Heartlanders, not to be confused with the Hawkeyes who play in town, as Coralville, I believe, is a suburb of Iowa City. Grizz throw it to the left wing as Cutler over to the line. He gets held up. Grizz will now enter from the right side. Fitz drops off for Raby at the point as Raby skates towards the corner. Fitz rolls it back along the wall. Mayhew cuts it off left point. He fires towards the net. It goes wide. Mayhew in the area. Wesley joins as Iowa clears it out. As Utah's net is empty, 3.5 minutes left in the third. As Iowa leads 3-0, but the Grizz have an empty net with 6 skaters on the ice. Utah crosses center. Teixeira dumps it in as he rolls it towards Jones, who keeps the play alive. Iowa throws it towards the near side, gathered by Wesley at the Utah blue line. Across to Mayhew, ahead to Fitz, who couldn't extend his stick far enough to get it. As Iowa fires towards the empty net, and they score as this baby's in the refrigerator, as the Heartlanders have taken a 4-0 lead. As they put a spotlight on the puck, which is laying in the crease, as across the goal line, couldn't quite tell who it was, but the Heartlanders have just put a number on Utah. It looks like Iowa's going to win their 5th in a row. Miner is in net now, as it's the 4th different way that Iowa has scored. They've scored shorthanded. They've scored 5-on-5. They've scored on the power play, and now they scored on the empty net. Iowa has outscored Utah 7-2 in this series, first 2 games. As back at center ice, 3 minutes left, Iowa dumps it in. Semick will throw it back towards Yakura, but Iowa gathers it, looks to center it, and it gets kicked away. Good job by Corey Thomas, as Thomas has the puck near side. And so move it to center ice. Grizzlies couldn't handle it. Penner was in the area. As action at neutral ice, Iowa gets it. They skeet down the middle. As the Heartlanders veer it off into the right corner, they chase after it. Thomas gets there first as he delivers a hit. Semick over there as well, along with Penner. Puck glides towards the net as Utah pokes it away. As Grizz cross center, Power fires towards Jones. Jones makes a stop and keeps the play alive as he gets to Chris Lipe. L-Y-P-E, or L-I-P-E, Lipe. As Iowa skates in, left side, feather it across. It bounced off the boards. Now at the far goal line, Iowa chips it across. Heartlanders near corner as Yoon shadowing. As Grizz poke it away. Utah's down 4-0, 2 minutes left in the third. As Yoon enters from the left side, he stops at the point, gets to Martell. Martell couldn't get it as it rolls towards the right corner. As Utah skates from left to right here in the third period. As Iowa back in their end, as Semick's over there as well, make that Martell. As Iowa deeper on their own end, as the only thing in doubt right now is whether Peyton Jones is going to get a shutout against his former team. As Iowa skates towards the right side, lefty shot is sticked away. The net gets dislodged, and looks like the Grizzlies are going to get a penalty as Iowa is cutting towards the net, and Miner's net gets dislodged. It's all Iowa tonight, 4-0, as they put the net back in place. Let's see, the Grizzlies might have gotten a penalty there as the stick got slammed in frustration, and it's just not been the Grizzlies' night. And unfortunately for Utah, it's just not been their week over in Coralville, Iowa. As they put the net back in place, the empty net goal is scored by Davis Kosh, who could be the number 1 star tonight. It's going to either be Kosh or Peyton Jones. Kosh now has 2 goals and 1 assist. As his was an empty netter. It looks like right now on assists, so they may add some assists later as Kosh scored the empty netter, 16:53 into the third period. 1:19 left in the third. Grizz have the puck. They trail 4-0 as Utah crosses center with speed. Raby with the left wing pass to Fitz. Fitz left point. Righty shot goes wide as the puck glides along the near wing boards. Iowa throws it towards Miner, who's in there right now as Mayhew gathers it about 5 feet in front of Miner. He starts the attack again. Mayhew gets to center ice and gets it poked away. Fitz gets it. Fitz gets cut off. He loses the puck. Iowa skates down the middle as Derflinger veers off to the right. Good job by Mayhew cutting him off. Now left side, one-timer, saved by Miner. Rebound goes to Utah. Grizz lifted out to center ice. Iowa gets it back as Grizz need to do some soul shirt searching here over the next 24 hours to figure out how to get the third game of this series. Thomas moves ahead to Penner. As now left wing, Grizzlies enter. Iowa has numbers. Grizzlies just hang out in the point, waiting for everybody else to enter. As Iowa pokes it back towards Miner. 22 seconds left in the third. And it looks like icing is called on Iowa. Whistle blows with 22.6 seconds left in regulation. As Iowa looks like they're playing about as well as they ever have. A team that has struggled in the win-loss category over the last 2 regular seasons, but the Heartlanders are going to win their 5th in a row. They won all 3 games last week, and Peyton Jones was the goalie of the week. It looks like Jones has just picked up right where he's left off. 30 shots for the Grizzlies, and Jones has saved them all. Iowa wins the draw. They'll throw it out to center ice. The Grizzlies just looking to get one on Jones here. 14 seconds left. Iowa back in their own end. And we know Peyton Jones in his time with the Grizzlies, when he's hot, he can be as good as anybody. Iowa just holds on to the puck. 4 seconds left, and it's going to be a shutout victory for Peyton Jones. 2 seconds, and that will do it. Iowa wins 4-0 as they scored 4 different ways. They scored shorthanded. They scored on an empty net. They scored on the power play. And they also had one 5-on-5 as everybody goes to congratulate Peyton Jones, who gets his first shutout of the season, as it was all Heartlanders. They dominated the first period, out shooting the Grizzlies 16-3. And really it was tough for the Grizzlies, even though they put together an outstanding effort in the second period, putting up 16 shots of their own, but they just couldn't get one past Jones. And then the third period, Utah outshot Iowa 11-6. But the Heartlanders, in their military-themed specialty jerseys, salute their fans that showed up to Xtream Arena. Final score, Iowa 4, Utah 0. Post-game show starts in 1 minute. We'll go over the stats and some scores from around the world of sports, as the Heartlanders are victorious tonight. Final score, Iowa 4, Utah 0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
This isn't just copper. It's our job. It's food on our family's tables. Without it, we couldn't stay in touch. It's what keeps our homes warm and our lights on. It's the power behind the team and a greener, brighter future. This isn't just copper. It's a proud Utah and a strong America.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to americafirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Final score at Xtream Arena, the Iowa Heartlanders 4 and the Utah Grizzlies 0. They're going over the 3 stars of the game. Looks like Louis Boudon is the number 3 star. He had 1 goal. The number 2 star is Davis Kosh. Like, Kosh did just about everything for Iowa. 2 goals and 1 assist. Looks like he gives a stick to a fan. And I don't know. That seems to be a pretty hot stick. I can't imagine that's his gamer. The number 1 star, the 4th-year pro out of Penn State, Peyton Jones. We talk about revenge games. Looks like a revenge week for Peyton Jones, who had 2 shutouts last year in the EIHL. He played with Belfast and the Nottingham Panthers last year. I think it's his first ECHL shutout. I remember he came very close to getting a shutout in a Grizzlies uniform a couple years ago, but I do think it's his first. It's actually a second ECHL shutout. He might have gotten one with Utah that I don't quite remember at this point. It is his second pro shutout, at least in North America. He did have 2 shutouts in the EIHL last season. I mean, it's just when you fall behind the way the Grizzlies did their, 3-0 in the first period, it's just tough to overcome. Davis Kosh, what turned out to be the game winner, 4:29 into the first, scored shorthanded. It was unassisted. As Cutler was just at the Utah blue line, Kosh took it away and then just skated down Broadway. And a lot of times you see that backhand shot, you see a lot of guys go high and try to go top shelf on the backhand shot. But it looked like Kosh went backhand, but he also went low. And it might have gone 5-hole, just kind of snuck past Minor into the back of the net. That made it 1-0. But then again, my screen was glitching like crazy there the first period. So that's just kind of what I saw when I saw the replay. Iowa made it 2-0. They scored 5-on-5 as Odin Tufto was on the right side, centered to Calverley. And Calverley, as he was falling down, put it in the back of the net. 13:40 into the first. A minute and a half later, Louis Boudon got a power play goal with Kosh, and Kosier gained the assist. Iowa in the first period outshot the Grizzlies 16-3, and they had a 3-0 lead after one. Grizzlies really picked up the pace, picked up the tempo in the second period. They did everything except for get a power play and get a goal. As the Grizz only had 2 power plays, they had one in the first period, and they also had one halfway through the third. Nathan Burke, in particular, was outstanding in the second period. He was just all over the place, creating good scoring chances and really being active, playing a strong two-way game. Burke was outstanding for Utah. He had 5 shots, which was tied for the club lead with Dakota Raby. Somewhere there in the middle of the game, the Grizzlies changed up the forward combinations, looking for that right combination, looking for that right 3-man unit. And in the Wichita series, the 3-man units were really working well, whether it was Messner, Penner, and Fitz. That top forward line of Raby, Martell, and Cutler. And, Burke, Stapley, and DeGlant have worked well together at times this season as well. But obviously, the Grizzlies having a tough time scoring goals, just 2 there in 2 games. In Iowa, Kanasowicz shuffled to the forward lineups a little bit to try to find something that was working. And we'll see tomorrow night if Kanasowicz will go a little bit further in finding that right combination that works against this Iowa club. Neither team scored in the second period, as we mentioned. Utah outshot Iowa 16-7. Took a long time for anybody to score in the third. Utah outshot Iowa 11-6 in the third period. The only goal was an empty netter by Davis Kosh. His second of the game and 5th of the season. That's really the story. Iowa scored 4 different ways. They scored shorthanded, 5-on-5. They also got a power play goal and an empty netter. It was just one of those tough nights. Right now on the stat sheet, they've not listed it as an empty net goal on Kosh. So right now they've got Minor stopping 25 of 29, but it really should be a 25 of 28. Peyton Jones gets a 30-save shutout. He was 30 for 30. And, you got to credit the Iowa defense. It looks like they've got a pretty good group of defensemen. Iowa's wearing the specialty jersey, so it was really tough to specifically spot who was who. Although it seemed like Landon Kosier was always in the right place at the right time. Chris Leip, Justin Wells, Hunter Lelig. I've been impressed with Ben Brinkman, the Notre Dame product in this series. Robbie Stucker making his first appearance this year. We saw him win some battles along the wall as well. It's just one of those things on paper. You looked at the standings going into last week, you saw Iowa towards the bottom, but they won 3 games last week and they've won the first 2 in this series. And David Fine, the Iowa broadcaster, would probably tell you this is about as good as the Heartlanders have ever looked, as they really have struggled in the standings the first 2 seasons and looked like they got off to a slow start this year. It looks like over the last 2 weeks, they found that winning formula. For the Grizzlies, their record falls below the 500 mark. They are now 4-5 this season. Iowa started the year 0-4-2, and now with the 5-game winning streak, their record climbs to 5-4-2 as they're over the 500 mark. And it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. Does Ryan Kanasowicz and Christian Horn, do they go with Trent Minor in net, or do they let Dante Giannuzzi make his pro debut? I know that everybody along the Grizzlies organization is very intrigued about what Giannuzzi could do. He's a guy that's got a good personality. He's pretty quick. He actually looks really good in practice. He's somebody that I think when he gets his opportunity can do a lot, can do well. I think Giannuzzi can play a good game when he finally gets in there as a pro. Is it going to be tomorrow? It's hard to say. He is the other goalie that traveled, is Garrett Metcalf, and I'm not sure if it's health related or not, but Metcalf is not in there this week. He didn't make the trip. So, we could either see Minor, but we could see Giannuzzi making his pro debut tomorrow. As Minor, I thought he did a decent job, all things considered. Certainly after the first period, he stopped 25 of 28. For Utah, it's just, trying to find that right combination. As right now, it's just been a little bit hit or miss. I mean, we saw it last week at Maverick Center in the Wichita series. There were stretches where the Grizzlies really played outstanding. We talked last Saturday in the 4-1 victory about how the Grizzlies, for the first time all year, it felt like played a full 60 minutes. That's just the thing about the 2 games here against Iowa. On Wednesday, it seemed like the Grizzlies had stretches where they played pretty well. First half of the first period seemed like there were portions defensively that worked well for Utah. Second half of the third period, they put together a good effort trying to tie it up, but they just couldn't quite play a full 60. Tonight, second period was certainly a great effort. Unfortunately, from the Grizzlies' perspective, couldn't get a goal to show for it. It's just that first period. Once you fall behind 3-0, it's tough to come back from, especially when you got a team like Iowa that's got a good group of defensemen and a hot goaltender right now, as Peyton Jones over the last 5 games has been about as good as anybody in the league. I think for the Grizzlies, it's just finding a way. You'd almost want to just hit the reset button and say, hey, forget about tonight, almost forget about the first 2 games of this series, and just focusing on winning that game tomorrow. Getting that first goal, getting off to an early lead, and, just seeing if you can find a way. You talk about at times the Grizzlies can get shots off in bunches and really get scoring chances in bunches. The shot count really, if we're being quite frank about it, it's been pretty inconsistent from period to period. First period, 3 shots tonight. Second period, 16. And 11 in the third. There are stretches in the Wichita series. There were some frames Grizzlies would take. The one period, they had 22 shots against Wichita. But then you'd have other frames where it was, the Grizzlies had a tough time getting those scoring chances. So it's just a matter of finding that consistency. I think that, the roster is certainly good enough. The talent on the forward lines are certainly good enough, and it seemed like all season we've been talking about the potential that the defensive unit has had. It's just, and I don't know if you blame it on the bye week that the Grizzlies had in week 3. When you talk about time, you're still building your identity as a team, and the Grizzlies had a week and a half off. It's hard to say whether that's played a factor, but for the Grizzlies, it's just finding a way to play a full 60 and to see if they can find a way to be a little bit more consistent. On a period in and period out, maybe a shift in and shift out basis if you want to really get specific about it. It's just that right formula is there. I think the Grizzlies just have to find it. And, maybe that starts tomorrow night with a good performance in the final game of the road trip. Once again, the 3 stars of the game. Louis Boudon with 1 goal is the 3rd star. Boudon was a +1 and had 4 shots. Number 2 star is Davis Kosh with 2 goals and 1 assist and was a +2. The number 1 star is Peyton Jones, who got a 30-save shutout. The special teams did play a factor. Iowa scored a power play goal. They were 1 for 3. They also scored shorthanded. Really the big plus for the Grizzlies so far this season has been the power play. But they only had 2 power plays tonight, and they were 0 for 2. They are 4 for 10 on the power play over the last 4 games. So we'll just have to see if the Grizzlies can find a way tomorrow. It's going to be a slightly different start time, a 5:50 pregame show, 6:05 face-off in the Mountain Time Zone. Obviously a 7:05 start over locally in Coralville, Iowa, which I think is actually a suburb of Iowa City. And the reason why the face-off was pushed back an hour, the Iowa Hawkeyes have an afternoon game against Illinois. And, I guess the same people that work Heartlanders games also work Iowa football games. And so I guess they just can't play at the same time or about the same time. So they pushed the face-off back. I think that they were just fortunate that was just pushed back as opposed to playing on a Thursday instead of a Saturday. I guess it just is what it is. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. I'll be over in the Grizz Cave, which is where I called Wednesday's game. We apologize for that first period. We had internet issues. Like the screen was freezing just about every 2 seconds. And just there are a lot of things that went wrong. Unfortunately, that was also the period the Grizzlies also didn't play all that well. And it just led to an Iowa victory. I guess the old saying, it just wasn't our night. It just wasn't the Grizzlies' night as they fall 4-0 to the Iowa Heartlanders. Well, hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and not necessarily the final outcome. Once again, in 2 hours and 15 minutes and in front of a crowd of 2031 on a Friday night over at Xtream Arena. The Iowa Heartlanders get 2 goals and 1 assist from Davis Kosh, and Peyton Jones got a 30-save shutout, his 2nd in an ECHL uniform, and his 4th overall. He had 2 shutouts last season in the EIHL. Next broadcast of Grizzlies hockey will be tomorrow night. 5:50 pregame show, 6:05 faceoff. I'm Tyson Whiting, and it is what it is. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. This has been the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Rio Tinto Kennecott.